right. Fan, blir det någon reckless kan ni snabba er. Vem vet? Tuff situation för Fnatic. Det löser sig alltid. Alright guys, we're gonna begin very soon. I'm just gonna set up the Zoom call. Let's check what Anna's up to.
King can get close enough to the rook. You will always have to go back with the check. King goes away. You go away with the rook again to threaten checkmate. King goes back. So it's a kind of back and forth because the king is still very close to your rooks. So in this position, what other ways could you picture as a solution when it comes to either protecting your bishop or your rook on g2 to threaten mate on h1?
I guess I can just push the pawn all the way.
Exactly what happens if you push?
I just will eventually go all the way home and I'll defend the rook with the pawn, I guess. And then luckily I already defend this square nicely with the bishop, so this bishop can't capture it, and this pawn will be so much more worth than just 1 point.
Excellent, excellent thinking. You push the pawn, and then you will keep pushing. So you're 2 squares away from protecting your rook and threatening checkmate. What can white do about this? If white notices what you want to do, can white prevent it?
Guess if well, this pawn is very, very well placed for me, so there is no
How we doing guys?
like that. But this rook might be
Ska vi må ASMR en Swedish? Ja, det blir så ibland.
thinking if there
Mycket
is
S och
potential to
L.
being behind this pawn, and maybe there's some counterplay to threaten my king, but I don't know if this rook can even move. I guess my issue here
Pack me, Yamato. Hello from Israel. Shalom.
Yeah.
Or should I say salam?
That's only
Or should I say hello? We are.
Hello everybody, how are we doing today?
Totally, Anna
My
spooked me, man.
microphone usually at
Jesus.
room and
Hello, everybody. Good energy, good energy. Hallo und einen guten Tag from Germany. Hope you're doing great. Ja, alles klar. Bei mir. Wie läuft dein Tag? Wir können auf alle Sprachen reden. Das is sehr einfach för mig. I am Mr. International. Jag kan prata på svenska, umiem porozmawiać po polsku. Siema koledzy, siema, siema, siema. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. كيف الحال يا شباب؟ Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? J'ai vu tes voix nues. That's all I know in French.
So TSM are finalizing a buyout agreement with Evil Geniuses for top laner Huni. Huni will be the new top laner of TSM.
What? Evil Jakob keeps editing me into these. Man, people that are biting the onion. People that are biting the onion are accusing me. Voulez-vous coucher? No, I'm not gonna. How did you get Anna Rudolf in here? It's actually my third lesson, man. I'm running a scam. They actually think I am important in the league scene, so they yeah. GG. Alex Botes, next please. Loving these crossover episodes. I'm already getting help from the cream of the crop, you know? But I would love to learn the Botes Gambit. Open Zoom meetings. Open Zoom meetings. Join with video. Today I have very red eyes. Because I fucked up and got soap in my eyes while digging. Are you back in Berlin? Yes. Soap in eyes, pog. It's not so pog. Obviously, smoking some good bubbleganosh kush. Yes, I am here. The meeting host will let you in soon. What if she doesn't? Zoom is just lying. Hello?
Oh shoot, what did I do with my
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hello,
Hey, Anna.
How are you doing, Jacob?
I'm good, I'm good. I lost my keys, so my head is scrambled. My keys are just gone.
Oh no, wait a second. You mean you went outside and then you lost the keys, or it's somewhere in the house?
It's worse because I've lost the keys without going out. I went and took out the trash and I've managed to lose my keys and I can't find them. And I looked for 10 hours and that's what makes it worse.
No.
Just not going outside and losing your keys. I'm thinking I put them in the trash and then I threw out the trash. That's my conclusion.
Oh no!
So it's a disaster.
I hope it has nothing on it that identifies where you live.
I hope so too.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But other than that, I'm okay. How are you, Anna?
I'm good. I've got a new co-host, Brandon Fraser. I don't know No, he wasn't with us last lesson. I think I acquired him on Friday or Saturday. The
All
face
right.
mask wasn't here.
The best actor alive.
He's very much alive. He's very much alive. Have you seen The Mummy? I think he was the main
Yes.
actor in The Mummy. But yeah, it's just a meme from Kevin's channel, so I adopted the meme and now I have him as co-host.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Is his head stretched out or is it just...
It looks like he has the biggest forehead on the planet.
It's a 5-head. He's just been practicing his chess. That's just...
Yes. I'm afraid he's gonna give the lesson, not me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make sure the sound is good. Let us know if you guys can hear Jacob well on my end. And I think I have the cameras already set for the lesson. Oh, yeah.
I'm a pro now on setting up Zoom. You taught me
I
well.
forgot to admit you. I was like, I didn't realize you were waiting. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It is all
So
right.
you also have the cameras set up and everything.
Yes, yes.
Hey, good to go. This is our third lesson with Jakob. For those of you who are just tuning in, he is a League of Legends legend, coach and caster. He's like the pro of the entire League of Legends world, but he's also a strong chess player. And that's what many of your fans still don't know. So I'm going to scream and shout to tell them that Yamato is a really good chess player.
Thank you. You're too kind, Anna. Thank you very much.
No, it's true. It is true. This is our third session, and I'm gonna try my best to help improving your chess skills for a future PogChamps participation. We are hoping. There's no news about PogChamps 3 yet, but I think it's highly likely that there will be a third edition because it has been a very successful series of tournaments for Twitch and chess.com, and I'm hoping to see Yamato as a PogChamps 3 participant and champion. So first we get you in, and then you're gonna win it.
Yes. Need to continue the streak, for sure.
Yes, exactly. Only my students can win. I wasn't coaching for PogChamps 1, but I'm gonna pretend I was. No, from now on, it's always my student that wins. It has to be.
Perfect.
You told me about the game you played against Levy. I wanted to check that, but I can't see it on your profile. And I guess I should have checked it the same day because you played so many games already that it's not on the list
I
anymore.
played many, but the Levi game I got help, so it was kind of unfair.
So tell us about the game, how it was against Gotham Chess.
Well, he wanted to pretty much. I don't remember the exact variation, but it was. Let me just put it on the board, and maybe then I remember.
Yeah, sure. We can also open an analysis board if you remember some of the moves.
I think.
Was it on your stream or his stream?
It was on his stream. I didn't stream. I was just chilling, and I was in. I feel very bad about this game because I took help, and I was listening
what
in.
What mean you took help? Oh,
it wasn't all me. It wasn't all me.
Mm-hmm.
The good moves wasn't me. So it was. He just crushed me so hard. So I was like, okay, I want to give him a challenge.
Well, he has been playing chess for a little longer than you, so I think he's got a bit of an edge there. But we're gonna try our best to get you close to his level.
Lovely, that's the goal.
Invited you to a board.
All right. So I believe it was, and then
you played with the black pieces, I'm guessing.
I was white, and I'm trying to remember.
He played the French against you.
But I believe it was something weird. Like I was supposed to accept this part. And this was what he was showing. It was a lesson. He was showing a lesson. And then the rest of the game, I don't remember. I was just.
And this is what he played against you with the black pieces. He played this line. Interesting.
There was some magic tricks in this position that he wanted to show, because he always has these crazy gambits.
Remember the one that one of your opponents played at pawn sacrifice? That's also a Levy gambit, the Jalalabad. Apparently, I didn't know of its existence before that.
But the rest of the game I don't remember. I don't know if I potentially have it. I can check if it's in my history.
Yeah, I only see you played so many games. I'm very proud of you for practicing this much, but it also means that I can't see anymore on your profile the Levy game. But it's all right if.
I took help anyway, so I won't forget that game because I feel I slept very bad that day because I took help. I felt like I broke the chess code.
But that's always the case on stream, that you can listen to the streamer, so it's fine. That's totally fine, and he's much higher rated than you.
Yes.
So even if he wanted to help you, he's still helping more himself.
Yes. All right. I will
Apart from that game, is there any other game of yours from the recent games that you have questions about?
There's nothing that stands out in my mind. trying
Because
to
if
remember.
nothing stands out, I was gonna suggest the same system that we did the other day. But of course, if you have any questions from previous games or in general, you let me know. We're gonna start with your questions if you have any. If not, we're gonna go and create new games so that I can see you while you are playing.
I believe I don't think there's anything that stands out to me. No, my memory fails me.
Sure, no worries, no worries. Then let's do the following. We're gonna watch you play. I'm
Okay.
gonna follow your account.
Cool.
If you prefer to listen to the game sound, you can also mute me. So whichever way is better for you, really. I want you to play the way you're most convenient.
I will do some muting action then.
Sure.
Or no, I think I'll just take the headset off. It should be okay.
Whichever way
It's easier. I thought there was a mute button on Zoom, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna start tinkering with Zoom.
Oh, there is. You can mute me. Yeah, you can mute me, or I can mute myself. So,
actually, I'll just remove the headset. It's okay.
You sure?
Yes, it'll be alright.
If you prefer. So we're gonna have Yamato playing against the strangers on the internet. That's what we normally do. Or you can also challenge him as a viewer and try to get lucky with the challenge. And I'll be talking about the games here, or if I'm not muted on both channels, I'll be talking about the games. And after the game, we discuss game by game what has happened and what can we learn from it.
Cool. 3 minutes?
We're gonna be playing, yes, Blitz games it is, because that's important. Speed is important for PogChamps. And we're gonna try again. Good luck.
All right. So I just jump into it?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you want to start with puzzles. I'm also good with that if you want to solve puzzles first.
Okay.
Because that's usually a good warm-up.
All right. Then puzzles. Do I just start puzzles, or is it puzzle rush, or is there some...
Yeah, the only thing... I'm going to have to stream snipe you to see it, but I'm going to only see it with a bit of delay. But that's all right. Because for warm-up, I do think puzzle rush, if you do like 3-minute puzzle rushes, even that, just to get those pattern recognition as fast as possible.
Cool. All right.
I'm watching an ad, but after that I'll be able to see your screen.
All right, thank you for the money, Anna. I appreciate it. Meat is on the menu today because of that ad.
Oh, I see. I didn't understand what did I do, but yeah, I watched the ad. I just realized.
All right.
What did I do?
I helped into it.
Just do it as fast as you can. As fast as possible.
Boom.
Nice.
I'm looking at this rook that is hanging, and I'm trying to find some check.
I see.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was pretty straightforward, actually. My goodness.
Yes. Yeah, that pawn. I'm sure you were looking at the back rank checks first.
Yes. My problem is some seem too easy.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't believe it. Is it really just taking a free piece?
All right. But then I just trade. Okay. All right.
Nice.
So this rating, does it correlate to anything? I'm 1700 now.
That's a really good rating for puzzles. That's a really good one.
Okay, so it's a little bit meaningful. Cool.
It does mean something, and you were really fast at recognizing the pattern. So that's what's great for your games. So basically learning through puzzles means that you exercise your pattern recognition, and the faster, the better, obviously for blitz games, and also for the longer combinations. Just the way that you spotted, okay, now this two move combination wins the rook. All those will help you in practical games. Oh, what happened in this end game? The last one.
I botched it.
Oh, it wasn't that simple actually. Oh, this was quite a complex one because you had to find a way to get the bishop into the attack. Because white is threatening checkmate in one. The one way to get the bishop into the attack is if it's a check. That's the only way the bishop can get into the game. So, if you does it let you go back on this one, or if you click on analysis?
So I went back.
Yes, let's try to get the bishop into the game with check.
How do I do that? I don't see it.
Yeah, so the first move you can't, right? There's no check with the bishop. So
Okay.
you need to force the white king onto a square where it will get a check from the bishop. Can you see how you can use your queen to force the white king onto a square that will be good for your bishop?
Okay. All right. I see. Oh, okay. All right.
Nice. And after all these checks, it's checkmate. Well done.
Holy.
Well done.
Okay.
Nice.
All you.
Done.
I was lost.
No, that was a more complex one, and especially to find it quickly, because if you have the time, I'm sure you would have recognized that idea.
Yeah, it just seems so natural to just capture the pawn with a check.
It was really natural.
So the only thing that makes sense to me is to move with the knight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else seems too unexciting.
Very good job.
But so if I
Nice.
Okay. And it's over. All right.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Checkmate
Okay.
Nicely done. You're on fire.
Thank you. My eyes are on fire too because I accidentally put soap in my eyes when I showered this morning.
What's a day you lose your
It's a
teeth,
disaster.
put soap in your eyes. Jacob, look after yourself. We are worried. We are getting worried.
It's just a throwback to all my childhood problems.
You just want to show to the rest of the world that you are also a human being, because otherwise your skills are way too good. You're a legend, and you just want to make sure that everybody else feels like, no, it's reachable what you have achieved.
Let's say that was the intention. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in this one, I see that there's a nice fall going on, but this bishop is in the way.
Yeah, it's a pity that the bishop is guarding the square where we want to hop. Any other ideas? Actually, I don't see this that quickly either. I need to think, because it's not that obvious. This one is... I would think it's not even that straightforward. I think I know the idea here, but it's nothing like the previous positions where it was very forcing with checks, and it would be checkmate in 2 or 3. This, I think, think of it
rook?
As if it was your game. Yeah, if it was your game, what would you play? And I'm hoping I'm looking at the right move.
I'm just looking at rook d3.
Mm-hmm.
And then
because then what do you want to do with the rook? Why are you playing that move?
Just put it behind the queen and just threaten mate.
Yeah, exactly. So in a game, that's what you would play, and I think that's the solution, unless I'm missing something very obvious. But that's the move I would play here.
And then my opponent's move would be bishop threat. I don't know. It just looks so free. Okay.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
if the bishop moves, then you have your fork. So the problem here is for the defense, it's either gonna be this h5 checkmate, or if the bishop moved, then the fork on f6, as you said. Well done.
All right. Do I just continue here?
I think it will make you play the next move too to threaten mate, and then
okay.
possibly it will give up the queen. Like in a game, black would give up the queen for the rook, and then you continue with the queen up.
All right. All right. Cool.
So this was more like a very practical choice that this is a winning idea and you found it.
This was a nice puzzle from chess.com. Very nice chess.com. Okay. This has to be check first and then capture and then threaten mate.
Yeah, the question is which move order exactly. So you spotted that this was okay. Sometimes it does make moves like that to give up the queen instead of getting checkmated. I don't like that in puzzle rush sometimes that it makes you play out all the moves, so it's like you're losing time by having to play those moves too. But yeah, it happens. You found the solution, that's the most important, and you found the right order. Do you see why you had to go? Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, I just went next. Sorry.
No, it always does that. Don't worry. I was curious if you knew why queen check first, but now let's focus on the new one.
I'm thinking this, but I'm trying not to rush. This is a championship puzzle because it pushes me to 1700.
Let's see if you can spot it. So you're looking at the rook move. Where will the queen go?
To this awkward little square. And then
what's next after that awkward little square?
I guess pawn capture.
What's the goal, you think? We have a rook for the queen, so we are a rook and a knight for the queen, but ideally we would need to either give checkmate or win material and later give checkmate in the game, obviously. But in this puzzle, it's either that there's something wrong with the king or something wrong with white's pieces and you can capture one or the other. This one is more difficult. But you are on the right track, so the issue is where the queen is placed, and it only had one square to go to after you attacked it with the rook, and once it's on that square, is there a way you could trap it? Is there a way you could win it?
I'm thinking the pawn capture move, but I don't know if there will be a check. So that seems very incorrect. Then my knight is pinned.
True.
So that doesn't feel so comfortable. It doesn't look winning to put the rook on h8 because I don't see the follow-up.
Yeah, the question if there's a follow-up. Let's just try to visualize that position after rook h8, queen g5, and try to see how you can attack that queen on g5, but also restrict its mobility, because as you said, if you capture the pawn, white has the f file.
Oh, I can just. Oh, okay. Words of wisdom, Anna. My goodness.
Well done.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All you.
No. You spotted it. F4, and the queen had nowhere to go. And I just want to thank #chess for raiding us. Let me introduce you guys to YamatoCannon, my pro student. He is a League of Legends caster and coach, and I almost killed him because he was trying to drink water while I was introducing him. He's a brilliant student. He's a really good player, and I'm trying to make him even stronger at chess. We hope that Yamato will be a PogChamps 3 participant. I'm definitely rooting for him to be in the field and win the tournament if there will be PogChamps 3. I like to leave you speechless because I feel like you're like, no, Anna, it's not true. Like the other day you told Hikaru and Levi that I was like some kind of a child prodigy.
That's you're making me blush too much. Like I'm running out of red in my system, you know.
Good. That's good. That's a goal. And we have a command obviously on my channel. That's !Yamato, so that everybody can go over to Jacob's channel and root for him in his league and chess streams. And you have an unboxing coming up. Is that opening Vivid Voltage Booster box?
Yes, Pokemon. Are you into Pokemon, Anna?
Ooh. I used to collect Pokemon stickers and cards in primary school. Yes.
Oh, so you have some old collections?
I think they are just very basic ones that we were trading with my classmates. Or maybe I should ask my parents to go up to the attic.
I could appraise it for you.
Really?
Maybe you have some gems in there because the old school cards are the most expensive.
Really?
There's some
Wow.
there's some cards out there that are worth, for example, the crown jewel of the Pokemon world. I think you can probably buy it now in the current market because it really blew up because a lot of YouTubers started collecting Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
The best, like in mint condition, there's like a Charizard, Shadowless first edition. I think maybe you can get $500,000 for it.
Goodness me, I'm sending my parents up the attic now.
But it has to be pristine.
Yeah, I don't think I own any of those, but I
Maybe.
I did watch Pokemon and I really liked how it was a thing in my classroom. We were trading those little cards or stickers. I don't even know what I was collecting.
Those
So
are the
you are
good
into
times.
Pokemon still.
Yes, it came back. Like everything, my childhood is coming back. Losing keys, soap in the eyes, and Pokemon cards. It's just everything at once.
I love it. That's brilliant. How do you feel about the puzzles? Do you feel warmed up?
Yeah, I feel warmed up. I have this final one.
Sure, let's go through this one.
My only idea is rook capture into push the pawn into something, and this is completely on feeling. There's no thought process behind it. I'm just looking for checks.
I see. Do you think that the bishop and rook combination will be enough for a checkmate?
So now you reveal to me there's a checkmate looming.
Maybe not. No. I'm just asking. Pretend it's your game. So
Okay.
it's a decision you're taking in your game. If
Okay.
it's not a puzzle, you would simply look for the best move. You would look for what to do. What is it that your opponent is threatening, by the way? Because we need to deal with what's going on from Black's perspective too. What does he want?
I guess I'm worried about rook check into rook on the final rank and GG.
Yeah, GG with rook b2 or GG with... What's the other rook move that's annoying here?
Oh yeah, there's also, I guess it's just straight up mate.
Yes, that would be very annoying.
That would be
both
horrible.
lead to mate, you are right. Both lead to mate, the other one too. So it's all right. Now, because you know that your opponent is threatening checkmate, our choices, our candidate moves are very limited, right?
Oh. I guess if I just check and then he has to capture and I capture and the game is over.
Because if you trade his rook, then no one is giving us checkmate and you're a bishop up. Well done. Sometimes it's simply that to get rid of their threat.
Okay.
Nicely done.
I was still trying to find water on Mars with my with this rook capture move. That's cool. That was easy, simple.
Nice. I
All right.
think you are ready for the games too, but it's good to start. I would recommend this to everybody who wants to improve their skills. Puzzles, start with puzzles. Even a few minutes will warm up your brain. That's just like doing warm-ups at the gym. Pattern recognition is so important at chess. So puzzles, and now we can jump into the ring.
All right. I will head in, coach.
Yes, let's do it.
Straight away. 3 minutes. I don't even know. 10 minutes doesn't exist for me anymore. It's just 3 minutes.
Very good. Oh, like if you start playing them PogChamps and the first games are 15 minutes, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this is so long.
I just play 3 opponents at once. That's
Yes, yeah,
the confidence
exactly.
you're giving me with always saying I'm a prodigy.
Bad Harmon style. You're playing against 3 Blitz games at the same time.
That's the dream. All right, I'm jumping in.
Sure.
Pressing play.
Watch for the speeds. I wanna see speed
Okay.
in the opening and middle game too.
Speed. All right, I'll give you speed. See you soon.
See you soon. Good luck. So Jacob's game has started. I'm gonna be covering it on both channels. Jacob with the white pieces, starting very well. Those 2 pawn pushes, guarding the center. It's important that you have more space here. White has more space, and it's a very nice central structure. Black is trying to fight back in the center. We shall see if Jacob will move that pawn or guard it. Defending it with the knight makes sense too. So if it's taken, he can take back. I'm drawing arrows on my board. But I think it can only be seen on my stream. So just try to picture what I'm saying in case you're watching from Yamato's channel. Hello to everybody. I'm taking over on Yamato's channel too. This is a good start. I like the speed. I like the confidence. That pawn was kind of hanging, but yeah, Black was ready to sacrifice it. That's interesting to see. Now I wonder. Oh, yeah, Black didn't dare to take. There were tactical motives which made Black not to take the pawn. It's an isolated pawn. The pawn in the center for Jacob is a little weak. It's a little bit alone, doesn't have friends. But apart from that, White has more space and more activity. So I think he will find a way to compensate for that structural weakness. Let's see. Let's see. He's taking more time here because it's not an easy position. It's not easy to decide what to do. Defends the pawn. I think he will realize that there are tactics here. I think he will realize that there are tactics, and his opponent is even moving into it. Now the d4 knight is guarded. Basically, after these trades, Jacob has won a piece. He is now a horsey up. He's a knight up in this position. So a great start to the game. We just need to make sure we keep that piece alive. So whenever it's attacked, it's gotta move, it's gotta jump away. The position's looking good. The opponent has a bit more time, so it's just important to keep the speed up. To keep playing very fast. Because there's no increment. All the time that is on the clock, you see a minute and a half for Yamato. That's all he has. That's all he has. 3 minutes was the starting time. No increment, meaning that once the clock hits 0, the person who gets to 0 first will lose. So you need to finish the game. You need to give checkmate or make your opponent resign before the time goes down to 0. That's the one difficulty here. The position is better. It's a piece up. And a piece up is quite a significant advantage at chess. On Yamato's level, it is already a significant advantage. The opponent is playing really aggressive moves, but Yamato spots that he can take it. He spots that he can take it. It's back rank mate. Look how we warmed up for this game with the puzzles. Well done. Puzzle rush finish. Puzzle rush finish. Excellent.
What was he doing?
He didn't do his warm up. You did.
That is true. That is true. Slacker. His name is even Slacker. That is just perfect.
What a game. Well done. We're going to go
you.
through some of the critical moments, but that's a great start. Excellent.
I didn't like my opening at all because my pawn was hanging for so long and they just didn't want to capture it.
That's all right.
I was very grateful for that.
There were some tactics there that maybe your opponent was afraid of. And
Okay.
sometimes it's enough that it looks like you have those patterns. We're going to go through that moment now.
Okay. Open to live chess.
Let me invite you to the analysis board again, because I opened your game here. You should see the invitation now.
There it is.
The bottom right corner.
All right.
Take us through the opening moves, and where's the moment where you thought that your pawn is in danger?
I kind of was unsure where to place my bishop.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to, I thought that when I did this, maybe my sequence was wrong because I wanted to just defend this pawn, and maybe the better move was just to play the knight move and then keep my bishop on the e file. That was like my first regret. Is there some substance to that?
I think it was a good move. You didn't like too much your bishop where it is.
I guess how it ended was alright, considering he has to develop his knight.
So at this stage it's good. I think what made you scared was possibly when the pawn became weak. So your opponent pushed c5, and here you made a quick move. If you had a bit more time to think, what would you play?
Maybe capturing the pawn is just better because it's defended and he has to lose a tempo.
Exactly. So you can take the pawn either with the pawn or with the knight. I think it's not that like it's an advantage, but it's not a decisive advantage. It's a pawn, but you will have doubled pawns. But in either case, it's free. So I'm always a fan of free stuff. And then your pawn will not be weak. So even if he somehow manages to win it in the future, like 10 moves down the line, it will be just winning the pawn back. But what happened without taking is that now your pawn is weak. So it only became weak after you let him take your pawn.
Yes. That's true. I see.
Now, it's interesting that he didn't take, but I think he was scared. Can you see what tactical motive could be dangerous for black if he takes? Whether it works or not is a different case, of course. Different question.
I guess if anything, I capture his bishop, he recaptures. Honestly, I don't see it.
Yeah, I think that's what your opponent was afraid of. It may not actually work, but the idea would be also
like bishop check.
You could also start with let's say this capture. So what your opponent was afraid of, that he will end up in a position where after multiple trades, the queen is on d4. And now,
yes.
What's the issue?
Yeah. Boom.
Boom, well done.
All right.
Covered attack. The bishop gives check. We sacrifice the bishop, but for the price of the bishop, we win the queen. But you are right. I don't think it works because if you start, doesn't matter in what order you start. Like after bishop takes d4, if we take on d4 first, you still need to get rid of the knight in order to give this check with the bishop. And the moment you get rid of the knight, the queen can run away.
Yes.
And if we start with that capture, so he played knight c6. So if we start with this capture to open up the diagonal of the bishop, then he can take not only with the queen here, because after queen takes, this is the position we want, right?
Yes.
He cannot avoid it. Or like he can say, I don't take the knight, but you are a piece up already.
Yes.
But the issue would be that he takes with the bishop and runs away again. So yes, your opponent could have taken the pawn, but it looks scary and he believed you, and that's enough. Sometimes it's enough to scare them. You need to scare your opponent, and you did. He was afraid of taking the pawn.
I'm happy.
Good job.
Because I got upset with myself here over this pawn.
Were you upset?
I was upset with myself, but then I looked at the time and I found energy again. So
Good job. Yes, you played this move, which I like. I like that you insist on guarding it, and there could be the idea of this covered attack later, and he fell for it. He took on d4, and now again the move order is interesting. Whether it's this move order or you think another move order. Let's try to calculate it now that you have time. In Blitz it's difficult to decide, but now you have a bit more time. So we want to get that position where the queen will be hanging at the end, right? That's the idea.
Okay. I guess I just have to do the same thing. I need to just get this out of the way.
Exactly. So we start with the other knight capture, and after queen takes.
And then just simple continuation. I'll be up a piece, I guess.
Exactly. Now you can take on d4, whether with the knight or with the bishop. The idea is the same. Black either loses a piece, or if he decides to take the piece back, then he loses more than a piece.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't think about this at all, honestly. I just, my hope was that he's gonna mess up, because I was like, I'm gonna play solid and he'll mess up for me. That was my plan.
He did, because even though this wasn't the most precise move order, now he started panicking. Your opponent was like, ooh, if I take twice, my queen is in trouble.
Yes.
What did he have to do? What move order does he have to play this with? He took on e4. And after bishop takes, now your knight is guarded. So yeah, he didn't step into the discovered attack, but he already lost a piece.
Yes.
So what does he have to not lose the piece?
I guess he just captures with bishop.
Yeah, because it's the same thing, right? If you take the knight now, how does black take back?
It just recaptures with the bishop. Boom.
Exactly.
Same as before.
Nice. And if we take the bishop first, if we take here first,
and it just captures with the queen, and he has time to get away.
Exactly. So it was still not bad for black. I think even after losing the pawn, you do have compensation, because you have a lead in development, so you're more active, and that can compensate for a pawn. But yeah, he panicked, and it's good when your opponent panics, because they can make an even bigger mistake than what it would have been.
Yes.
So takes, and he took here, after which now it is guarded. Now your knight is guarded. I think the rest of the game you played confidently. You took a bit of time earlier when the pawn was hanging, but from here on I think you played pretty fast. You took that free pawn on b7, you came back to e4. Everything is perfect, and here after the trade, this is when your opponent wanted to attack your queen. And I saw it on your face that you were like, what is he doing?
Yes. First I was just fishing for a free pawn there with the check, and then to just be stronger, and then I didn't think he would fall for this. And then I thought I blundered the idea by I thought maybe his queen was covering it, and then I had to just double check, because I couldn't believe he did this. Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he did
Good
it.
that you double check, but it worked, and it's a beautiful finish to the game, sacrificing the queen for the rook, then capturing the rook, and now the only move that black has is to move the queen to the back rank after, which is checkmate on the board. Nicely done. Puzzle rush finish.
Yes. I was waiting for the queen
Excellent.
move. I was ready for that, because that's also part of the puzzle always.
Yes, true. You need to wait for that to be captured, lose a few more seconds before you win the game. Very true. This game was impeccable. The only moment where there was a minor mistake is that you didn't take the free pawn, but it's because it's a blitz game and you just continued fast.
Yeah.
And that on its own, it's not a big mistake at all. It only just made your pawn a little vulnerable, and even if you drop the pawn, I think you still had good compensation for the pawn. So that was not a big deal at all. Very good game.
I think it's just a weird habit, like to not capture outwards with central pawns.
Yeah, because normally you don't want to, right? If that pawn was protected, you are not interested in taking it. It's just that here it was free. It's still not that clear. For instance, if you start taking with the pawn, maybe that move order isn't that good if black takes your knight, because that's the knight that's guarding the pawn. But maybe it is good. Maybe now you take the bishop. So it was gonna take some time to make this decision, because it's messy. This line isn't that clear cut. Or if you are worried about that capture, you can take with the knight to run away with that knight that he was about to capture.
Okay.
Maybe this is easier move order for blitz, so that you don't have to calculate the other ones.
This looks nicer for me, for my 1200 rated eyes with soap in them.
No, it also to my eyes, and And I think it's because you have a really good intuition for chess, and now you know that if black wants to double your pawns, they have to give up the bishop for your knight. And then you have the pair of bishops. I know you like to have the pair of bishops.
Yes, yes.
So it's a free pawn and the bishops.
All right, all right. Lovely.
Nice.
Okay.
Next game.
All right. I just had one little question.
Absolutely,
I had a thought. If there was room for me to punish his opening here.
Good question, because it's definitely not a traditional opening that he played. So he kind of went for the French defense structure a move later. We are in like a French defense position because he played e6, d5. But it's true that putting the bishop out there, allowing you to push d4 with a tempo, shouldn't be really good. The problem with opening inaccuracies is that even if they are inaccurate, because you are right, this bishop c5, bishop b6 shouldn't be a good line, but it's not so easy to punish the opponent unless it's something that weakens the king. So here it would only be a big mistake if somehow we can trap the bishop, but there's no way of trapping the bishop. So I think what you gain here, you gain time because you managed to push the pawn by winning a tempo. C3 maybe is not the most challenging. I think you just wanted to make sure that you have a nice pawn structure in the center. So it's a logical move. What you can try to do in general when you are ahead in development is to keep speeding up that development. So you could think of developing either this bishop or the knight and try to finish your development as soon as possible, because what you have as advantage is time. So it's not that much of an advantage unless he keeps wasting time. So perhaps nothing happens even if you develop the bishop first to rush to castle. He's also pretty much in time to castle. It's not that easy to take advantage of. But for instance, if this is the position, now would you find a way? Do you think there's a way here to take the initiative fully and start attacking the king before black develops the other flank? Because everything is sitting on the queen side.
Just e5?
E5. So this is what you can do when your opponent wastes time to try to grab the initiative. Like, you need to castle before you launch an attack. Usually you need to get your king out. But once you have castled, yes, e5 now chases away the defending piece from around the king. And if that moves away, there may be issues immediately. Knight g5 is one way to go, exactly, to attack h7. Do you see any other move order or any other way to attack the black king? I'm curious.
Well, I guess if is there some craziness with something like this?
That sacrifice, it gives up the bishop. So if I take the bishop,
I do this with a check and then I can move out my queen.
Exactly. So this is the Greek gift sacrifice. It's called the Greek gift. And you know it very well why you sacrifice that bishop. You're threatening checkmate. If I move the rook away to get some space for my king.
Is the continuation this? Oh.
You can continue like that too, but the most precise is so imagine when you give this check, the black king will come here, and then you can give another check here, right? But I'm gonna try to hide here.
Yes.
So if this is the place where I'm heading with my king, what could make that place less safe? How could we expose that square? Is there a way in which we could chase the king there, but without having too much protection around the king? What are some of the pieces or pawns that are guarding the king there?
Oh my goodness, Jesus! This is okay.
That's hanging, but it's important that you are doing this to expose the king later, because it doesn't lead to checkmate. We will still have to go for the same line, but now you have the same attack without the pawn on f7.
Oh.
And what it does is that now, can you see it? It's puzzle rush time for Jakob.
I don't actually see it.
It's not that simple to visualize it because it doesn't look like it would be game over, but this is checkmate in 2.
Checkmate in 2.
And it's a force line. It's a very forcing line, so there's not even a chance for the opponent to give up the queen or anything.
Okay.
Yes, nicely done. So the same position in the other line, the black king was kind of hiding because there would have been a pawn on f7. But now without that pawn, this is checkmate. And it's important to play it out on the board. And now that you see that, I think you will remember it forever, because I think you knew the sacrifice, the bishop sacrifice. But it's important to know that in this line, when the rook tries to give space to the king, what you do is you take first the f pawn. Instead of that check, we take this pawn first, and now you do the entire line again, all over again, back to the h file, and now there's no pawn guarding the king. It's checkmate.
Okay, lovely.
Nice. The other thing to know, after you sacrifice a bishop like this, we always need to consider that the king doesn't go back, but the king decides to be brave and bold and either move to g6 or h6. I'm gonna ask you first h6 to visualize that move. If the king is on h6, what's the best move? It looks terrible.
I think just knight, and then he loses the queen because of the double check.
Excellent. Yes. So that's solved. What about this king move?
I feel like this is winning.
That queen move is really strong because you are threatening. What's the threat here?
It's just I wouldn't know how to describe it, but it looks it looks good in my eyes. I was just starting the discovery, and I guess there is a potential knight into losing the queen for him again.
Exactly. And the issue again is that even if black sees your idea that you are threatening to take this pawn and win the queen, even if they see it, well, winning the queen or giving checkmate, because of course, like, the king may not have anywhere to run to. But the problem is, even if they want to step out of your discovered check, where can the king go?
It's what is it, Ellen? My girlfriend just hissed at me. I don't know why. Anyway, it's probably something I did. It's been a rough day.
For you, with the soap and the keys.
So this, I guess it's just down here.
Can the king go there?
I guess it's the only place, yeah.
Are you sure the king can go there?
In a case where I move my knight?
You mean after that? Okay, yeah. I was asking if black can step out of your discover check, if they can prevent it.
Well, do they just give up their queen already? I don't know.
Yeah. There's not a square, right? Because if the only square the king can step to is h6, but then the bishop will give discovered check, so it's terrible. Exactly. Usually the one way black tries to survive is to attack your queen, because now if we move the knight, our queen is also getting lost. It's gonna be captured, right? So how to react to a pawn push like this?
Just capture en passant?
You can capture en passant, that's one of the options. Now what would black do?
I guess,
if he wants to survive as much as possible.
I guess capture with queen?
Could capture with the queen, but that now white would continue. What would be the strongest move for you?
So my mind is telling me to give a check with the queen.
Let's see what happens after the queen check. What would black do to try to guard the king?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't like
and
that.
Exactly, and so finally black would be out of danger. We need to be very
Yes, yes.
precise here to not let him escape.
Oh, okay. This is the same idea. This queen is screwed.
Exactly. Nicely done. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah. So if black wants to step out of that discover check, then after the pawn capture, what would they do? How can they escape from this?
So there's 2 options or 3 options, 4 options. Oh, so many options actually.
Yeah, many.
This comes with the tempo, I guess.
Yes, it attacks our queen, so similar idea. We have to move the queen now before we give a check. So this would be one attempt, or the other attempt usually that black goes for is to get the king out.
Oh.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Both of them are similar. But in either case, the attack continues. So you have sacrificed the piece, but the king is out in the wild.
Yes,
Usually
yes.
these don't work. But depending on the game, of course, you will need to calculate, okay, what's next? Do I give this fork, or what's the strongest move? So very good intuition that the bishop sacrifice, and depending on your game, you will have one way or the other to win material back. It's usually the sacrifice that works. So if you get this check done, if you get this check in, so it's guarded by the bishop, and if after king g6 you have queen coming to g4, usually it's a winning position. You just need to calculate later, depending on how your opponent reacts. You will need to see, okay, how am I winning the queen? Is there checkmate? So just make sure to keep calculating those. But very good job. So this would have been if you don't play c3. So c3 is not a bad move, but for next time, just speed up even more your development. If your opponent is wasting time, whether by making moves like this or wasting time on flank pawn pushes, wasting time on anything that's possible to waste time on.
Okay.
Speed up your development castle and open up the position, because you will only be able to use your lead in development if you take the initiative as quickly as you can before he finishes his development.
All right,
it's interesting because here you would start an attack before you finish your full development. So it's a tricky thing to know when it's okay and when not. But here, since you realize that e5 chases the knight away, the king is left with no defenders. It's only the pawns against your bishop, your knight, and the queen. So you potentially have these 3 attacking pieces, the bishop helping too, the other bishop, and this pawn helping a lot because there's no knight f6 coming back to save the king.
Okay.
Well done.
Is it inaccurate of him to place the knight in this position?
Yeah, I think in order for black to not get into this, perhaps either not placing the knight there, or after placing the knight there when you castle, they shouldn't castle, because castling, as natural as it is, it then allows e5. So black has to be very, very careful here. You only have made 5 moves, but black is already in a dangerous territory because of losing time. So maybe now d5, and after e5 try to get the knight into e4 to block the bishop. So there could be ways, but black has to be very precise in the defense to not get into immediate trouble.
Okay. All right.
But really good question. Please always ask questions, because sometimes those are things that are natural to me, but it shouldn't be natural. It's only natural because I don't know anything about chess. So feel free to ask.
Okay, I understand. I have a very... For me, it's the same when I talk League of Legends. It's like there is like this assumption almost where things... It's like...
Yeah, but it was a really good question, because you want to punish your opponent for wasting time. Exactly.
Like the other question I had in mind was, because after I played my move, I was thinking if something like this had some weight, or is this just ridiculous?
Oh no, it's not ridiculous at all, because that was my first thought too. Can we try to trap the bishop? Because this would be an attempt to try to go for the bishop that's out there without being very well placed. So that's great intuition that you were looking for moves like this. This would be another way to try to use your lead. So more space. you are threatening to bother the bishop even further. Even if you don't end up winning it because it still has one more square, the bishop keeps having to move. So it's not ideal that black is only moving the bishop, but having lots of space, having 3 pawns, I can't count, 3 pawns in the center is also great if you get a center like this, a central control like that. Very good.
Okay. I think I'll continue with the pawn forward then, because that looks the most brutal to the
Yeah.
players I'm facing. I think
Exactly.
that's a KO already from the get-go.
Oh, you could win in 10 moves if they do this against you.
All right.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Ready for our next game?
Yes. Very ready.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll hop on in. See you soon.
Good
See you on
luck.
the other
Good
side.
luck.
Thank
See
you.
you. Thank you guys for the compliment.
I want to say I feel like playing black.
Yeah, they don't realize that Jakob is a little more uncomfortable about playing with the black pieces, but he has improved a lot with the black pieces too. Here with the white pieces, going for the bishop development to c3 to then gain control of the center. Yes, I'm reading everything you guys say in the chat, and thank you for the comparison between Lux and Yamato. I know they look very much alike. I think the same. I agree with you guys. So thank you for the compliments. I main Lux now. I only main Garen before. I'm very bad at League of Legends, but I'm trying to improve. I started taking lessons. I started practicing, and I used to have Garen as my champion because I was told it's easier to learn as a complete noob to play as Garen. But now I try to play as Lux, and I really like her. I like her a lot. There will be more League streams too. Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying. Nicely done. Jakob is
This
using
is
the
very unique.
using the e5 because his opponent is.
I've not
This
been
is
here
what
before.
we learned. Nice. I know it's a unique position for him, but he has done a really good job
don't have-
playing logical moves. That knight move was maybe not necessary because the knight wasn't hanging due to the pin, but still, I think he has a great chance to try to attack this pawn in the center and win the queen if that pawn falls. Nicely done, developing the knight, threatening to take the pawn. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue that black can protect it with another pawn, but I think he can still continue, for instance, pushing this pawn to attack on e4 and try to open up the position. Exactly, he's going for it. He's going for it because if those pawns disappear from the board, what we have is that black queen and the black king in the middle on that e file. So that would be a losing position
He's
for
being a
black
bit
if
too
the king
creative.
stays. He's being very
There's
creative.
this I can recapture.
Mm-hmm.
I'll continue.
Nicely done. Nicely done. That now Jakob is taking the pawn, and he knows that even though this rook on the d file is targeting the queen, semi-targeting. If the knight jumps, exactly. If the knight jumps, then the queen is hanging. But there was no. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna pretend nothing happened because I don't want Jakob to feel too bad. But
That's a
unfortunately,
disaster.
I think he knows it
He
though.
played me like a fiddle.
I think he knows it. So the slight issue here is that we are a queen down, but we have a rook for it, and Jakob is trying to guard the pawns. I'm just hoping that we are not losing this rook in the corner. That would be important to keep on the board. So there's still some chance because black's pieces, the rest of black's pieces, the rook and the bishop are still unemployed. They are not doing anything. And here I think white has a chance to attack the queen and get that bishop. Jakob went for a different move.
I'm gonna make him work for it.
Yeah, even in a lost position, it's important that you fight, and that's what Jakob has, is a really good attitude, mentality here. The mindset that you fight even in very difficult positions, even in bad positions, you fight and try to make it as difficult for the opponent as possible. They can also make mistakes. The queen sacrifice is usually on Alexis' channel. Absolutely, that's the Botas gambit to give up the queen, but today Jakob decided to play the Botas gambit. I fully agree with you, Noel. Jakob is improving a lot. And it's only his third lesson. That's crazy. Crazy to think it's his third lesson. And he's going for those big brain ideas of checkmate. He still has some practical chances. So this is a lost position. You guys can see the evaluation bar next to the board. On my channel, you can see the bar showing that White has a very difficult situation.
Oh, okay.
In practice, there can be...
He didn't want to. He didn't feel like it, I guess.
In practice, there can be issues. Yes, Jakob. I think Jakob has turned the tables. He's gonna win the queen back. Okay, I'm gonna try to hide my facial expression, but he's winning the queen back. He's winning the queen back. But he's down to 18 seconds. Oh, he has to hurry up. 18 seconds left. The pawn is running. He has won the queen back. It's crazy. He's turning the tables. Absolutely incredible. He's turning the tables. Go. Yes, help with the king. Very good job. Very good endgame technique, but he has no time. The time part of the game is a bit of an issue here, but he was a queen down earlier. So actually this is crazy that he got this position. It's crazy. Now the king goes and he helps promote the pawn. Excellent endgame technique. He's playing it so well. He's winning it. He just needs to play super fast. Take it and then also use the other pawns. Oh, not that move order. Okay, it's not too bad. He just doesn't have time. The issue is he doesn't have time.
Oh no. Oh no.
You almost did it with the queen down.
That was
You almost did it.
Oh, it's a disaster. I had it in the end. I just blundered my pawn for no reason.
But such a good attempt at making a comeback. You were this close. Only that one pawn push at the end made it change again. Well done.
That was sad. Very sad. But that was okay, considering how he outplayed me in the beginning. Jesus. I was riding a bike without wheels. I was just, I was rolling down the street. It's a disaster.
Let's take a look at it. I'm gonna set up the board, but I'm so proud of you for that comeback. You almost did it. Like you were one move away from winning the game. It was difficult also because you were very low on time, but other than that, it's incredible that you made the almost impossible happen.
Thank you. It's the confidence you've been giving me, Anna, in my chess game.
I'm glad. Let's take a look at those initial moves and where did you think that the game was going out of your control?
Let me see here. I think maybe I wasted too much time here by moving back with the bishop. I should have just maybe advanced. I didn't feel comfortable with the upcoming the pawn capture that might come, so maybe I should just capture to be over with it.
Yeah, you can take in order to prevent that, but bishop c2 shouldn't be. It's not a bad move, but maybe, as you pointed out, it may be a bit inaccurate because you lost a bit of time on that move.
It felt very slow. And then here I just didn't feel like I had any good squares to really go to.
Yes, so you need to trade.
And then my thought process was that if I castle and develop my rook as soon as possible, his king is going to be trapped in the center, especially after he did the queen move. Like here, after they put his queen on this square, I felt like that is something for me to do. And then I noticed that he overpushed, like he pushed so far.
Yeah.
Like this.
Here after e4, were you concerned when your opponent pushed e4? Did this position worry you? Did you think you're doing well? What were your thoughts?
I was thinking that like it was new. That was what was surprising because I've never seen like the board look like this as far as I remember.
Yes.
And then I was like looking at it, and it's like, okay, I have only one square, so I'm gonna do that, and then think about what happens next after I make this move. And then I just thought that he made a big mistake by putting his king and queen on the same line. So I thought that I'm going to win back this pawn eventually.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to waste some tempo to castle, and then that felt all right.
Is there a way to start targeting that pawn already? Because is he threatening to take your knight right now in this moment?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I thought about it later, but not here.
Yeah, it's okay because I guess the first instinct is, oh, we see a piece hanging and we move it. So in blitz games, that first instinct is what we listen to oftentimes, so
Yes.
that you win, you save time. But now that you are looking at the board and you see that your rook is on the same file as the queen and the king, what can we do to take advantage of this situation?
First thing that comes to mind is just play d3 to just start to challenge this pawn. But I guess I'm looking at this too, because
So
this looks pretty awkward. This pawn
yeah.
here, this pawn is protecting a lot of things. It looks
How
like.
can black protect it? What do you think would be a good move for black here?
I guess it would just castle and that's it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he
So
came
that's not
out
so
of
fancy.
inside, which protects the pawn, gets the king out of the e file. So it's a good idea to do something that creates threats. Any threats you can create against the e4 pawn to attack this pawn with more pieces.
More pieces. This looks weird, but is this it? What's this?
Could be, yeah, could be a move, because how will black guard the pawn? So it's either a queen move, or what other piece could attack the pawn? Queen c2 potentially is the best move.
Oh, okay. Well,
It looks a bit strange, right? Because you still have a pawn on d2, but in this moment you are threatening to win the queen. If you take on e4 with the king and queen on the e file, you are winning material.
okay. Is the pawn move not better?
Yeah, that's the question, to compare which one is stronger. Pawn push, very good job. The same thing. Black can't take either the knight nor the pawn because the queen will be hanging. So how could black deal with this threat? You're about to take on e4 with the rook.
If I'm black here, I just accept that the pawn is gone and I peace out with my king. I just castle here.
Castle, and because of that peace out, a very good intuition, you create a counter pin.
Oh.
So
That's why. Okay. Yes,
exactly.
yes.
What happens now if white takes the pawn on e4? Let's calculate it. Let's visualize it. Rook takes e4.
I just lose the rook.
White can lose the rook. Not can, but will lose the rook, unfortunately.
Yes.
With this queen sacrifice, nicely done, because if the pawn takes the queen,
Let's
the
mate.
white queen is gone too, and then checkmate. Very good job. Well spotted.
Okay. So that's why the queen move is so good. It felt so natural to push the pawn, because I'm like, yeah, it opens up the bishop, and then we have this beautiful diagonal, which the knight defends, and then there is no castling privileges in this position.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to do
normally
some awkward
this
pawn
would
moves.
be better. Exactly. No, for all the reasons you mentioned, normally the pawn push would be the stronger move. It's only that the d file is open here, semi-open. If there was a pawn on d7, d3 is the best move, because you always want to attack with the less valuable piece. So it's a pawn, you want to push a pawn. Because if you attack with the queen, maybe then black will still have moves like, I don't know, knight to d6. It's the queen and the queen and the rook are attacking the pawn, but black can use less valuable pieces like the knight and then his own pawn to guard it. If we were attacking with the pawn, you could already take it, but now we can't take it because it's a knight that's guarding it.
Yes. What if I wait?
Principle, d3 is better. Wait in this position?
Like meaning, like I do the pawn push, and then I just wait, and then like develop, let's say, the knight to.
Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. So it's not a bad move. Pushing the pawn is not a bad move. It's just simply that we can't take it immediately. But good idea, nicely done. And even the move you played, my viewers are praising you for it. I see Dortam saying knight d4 is such a good trick. I don't know if you realize, but if black takes twice on d4, what move would you be looking at here? What do you think is strong here for white?
That is.
Actually, he did take twice. He did.
Oh, I did take. I missed this.
That's a very scary move. Yes. Now, obviously, the engine still finds ways to defend, but in a practical game, I think this is an almost winning move, because the issue is it's a check. The knight is hanging. The knight can save itself by jumping back and using it as a shield against the check. But then the
Boom.
second problem is rook takes e4. Nicely done. Exactly. So
Deadly.
there would be still a defense here according to the engine, but we don't care about the engine because your opponent is not an engine. None of the PogChamps players are engines. So this, I think, in a practical game is winning.
All right. Cool.
Nice.
And then queen move doesn't work because of this check, I guess.
Yeah, I think that should be the defense, because it looks very scary for black, but now it's a check and the knight is hanging. How can black defend? Yes. So this would be a very complex way of getting out of it, but black has to find all these only moves to not lose the queen or the piece. So in a practical game, this is a great move, queen a4 check, and that the opponent has to find those really difficult defensive moves. But even what you played in the game, it's not a disaster. So that pawn on e4 is annoying because it's still alive, but it shouldn't be a disaster. And then you won the pawn. So I was so proud of you. You pushed d3, you took the pawn, because you saw that if the knight jumps to f3, which would be an attempt to win the queen, right? Because the rook would be attacking your queen. You saw that that's not working. You can take it with the queen.
Yep.
Excellent job. I knew that you knew it because you took very confidently the pawn.
Yes.
So the issue was here, only here, after knight b5. But I think it was just a moment of blind spot either, or you forgot what was your opponent's last move. I'm not sure which one.
Just the castle, I guess. I didn't register too well about the rook's position.
Yeah.
And then I thought that at least I would trade evenly, but my bishop is so bad there, so it didn't really work.
Yeah, it did not, unfortunately. But if you had realized that the queen is hanging and you just move the queen, it would still be an unclear position, if not better for white. I think you are better if you move the queen, because his queen is still in front of his bishop, so it's difficult for black to develop quickly on the king's side, and you will be able to target the king faster than how he will get to your king.
Yes. So my move, I guess, should have been something like this.
Yes,
this looks like a very active queen.
Exactly, that would be a great move. I think you're doing very well in this position. Yes.
All right.
So it's a pity for that blunder, but other than that, you played very creative, and you had to face an opening you didn't know much of, because this position was just very original. Most people don't play 97 against the Spanish, and it was all very new to you, but you reacted well. Even if you weren't so happy with your bishop move, it's not a bad reaction.
Okay.
And then going for the e-pawn. So you played in a very logical way until that moment when you missed the queen hanging.
What was his next move here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I felt... Is there a point where I should push my... Like, is there any point where pushing my d-pawn is a better move at any point here? Did I miss a window?
He wasn't really giving you time, because here he pushed d5. So you could take... If you want to push d4, you could try to take on d5 and then castle and d4. But the question will be how black continues. So you could try this to castle, and now you're threatening d4. Because if you do that earlier, well, it's also possible to play it here.
Okay.
It depends. It depends on if you want to go for these complications or not. Because sometimes by opening up the e5, you're also exposing your own king. But if you see that there's nothing going on, this check is not a big deal, then you can play it earlier too.
Okay. Because here my idea would be to capture and then to regain the space like this.
Yeah, that's possible to do it, to take back with the queen. Exactly, and you have damaged your opponent's pawn structure. That's a good thought.
Okay.
And the question will always be if we are scared of this move or not, if this is unpleasant. But both kings are on the e5, still exposed.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
Whoa,
no
whoa,
worries.
whoa.
No problem.
I didn't know
Happens to me
that
all
button
the
did
time.
that. My goodness. I was just
Alright.
curious what would happen if I give up 2 pawns to castle there. Maybe that's better. I can't
You
find the
mean
position
by
anymore.
giving up,
I'm trying to remember what time it actually happened. No, I can't recall. In the line that we were talking about previously. But it's okay. We can move on.
wait, let me try to find it. Here, the one where
Yes,
you give
yes.
up your bishop?
This one, in a world where I don't give up my bishop and I just castle.
Oh, you want to sacrifice the pawn. You don't want to take back on d4 by castle.
Yes, yes.
That's also a great thought. Wow, look at you. Again going for those attacking skills. You don't care about the pawn, you care about the king.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Great. That's perhaps the strongest move on the board. Well done.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I didn't want you to have to think of it, because I was like, if it doesn't come natural, I'm not gonna force it onto you. But then you say, oh, what if I don't take the pawn? Excellent. Look at you.
All right. I'll take it.
So black is a pawn up, but you are ahead in development, and it's exactly what we said. If you're ahead in development and you open up the position, then the king of the opponent is getting into trouble. Nicely done.
Cool.
Natural attacker. I agree with Dortem in the chat. Yamato is a natural attacker.
I think only in the chess world that's a good thing.
Only in the chess world. And what about league?
I guess in league it depends. It depends because some players are like barbarians and they're kind of like it's better to attack carefully. It's like strike when your opponent is weak. But there is, I guess, in league there is an advantage in the shock and the surprise, and this is what most of the time what China is known for is that they are so accustomed to always brawling and fighting that their level in those situations is just so much higher than other regions.
I see.
Yes. So they have this barbarian playstyle like Tal or Barnes or something. Where they just if they're behind they fight, if they're ahead they fight, if they're even they fight to get ahead. there's always
Wow.
a reasoning, but this is a very simplified version of it.
It's interesting to see that there are parallels like that, but here you spotted that you have a chance because your opponent has been taking too long capturing pawns and the king is still in the middle of the board. So you say, I give you the pawns, but I'm gonna get to your king first. Nicely done.
Cool.
Excellent. Any other questions regarding this game, or shall we go for the next one?
I think we can go for the next one, Anna.
Exactly. You're ready.
I am ready.
This is a good game. There was just a moment of yeah, we're gonna keep the queen on the board for the next one.
It was a fun game. I don't mind losing that game. It was a fun game. It was a very it was new.
Your opponent was very creative with the castle queen side idea.
Taco Victor. I'm awaiting the rematch. I'm gonna find them again. All right, I'm queuing up. See you on the other side.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh, finally.
I think that means Yamato's got the black pieces, so he can practice his opening repertoires with the black pieces. It's usually easier to play with the white pieces, so I do want to see Jakob getting more games with the black pieces. We need to practice with both colors as much as possible. He's playing my favorite opening, the French defense. I'm always happy to see that he goes for the French defense. And they're trying to put a lot of pressure on this central pawn. Let's see how he continues. Takes the pawn. And takes the free pawn. Excellent. Free stuff. Free stuff. Very good to see you. How are you, lady? I'm very happy today. And I think Bay knows why. It was such a difficult decision to take, but Bay knows it all. I can't talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy because
I almost
think
blundered the piece.
I'm
I
very
was
happy
considering
Jacob
queen
didn't
capture, but
blunder.
I noticed that if he recaptures, he defends the rook and I lose a piece.
I'm very happy Jacob didn't
This is a
blunder.
check.
And
But what's this check
I'm also
for?
happy
It's pretty
I've
pointless.
gotten to take some really important decisions, of which I can't talk. But it's difficult to take big decisions in life, and
now I
Bay
can
knows
continue.
Bay knows how difficult it is. Thank you, lady, for your support and for believing in me. I believe in our team. I do believe in our team. Taking the second free stuff, I'm tuning back into the game to see that Jacob does what I preach. Free stuff, go and capture it. He plays the French defense, he captures free stuff. It's a good day. It's a good
I
day.
might be heading
guys,
into some unknown territory, but my instinct tells me...
I don't want to cut Jacob. But yes, he's doing well. He's doing well. Guys, I haven't said I signed with anybody. Don't misinterpret me. If I have announcements,
Honestly, I'll
I'm
just
gonna
move
tell
back.
you.
I'll keep it simple. I'm ahead already.
If I have announcements, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not TSM, and I may be in talks, but I'm not. I haven't signed. If I have a public announcement to
Honestly,
make, I'm gonna make it.
I like this.
But I'm very certainly Team Hikaru. Yes. Thank you, Bay. Thanks for that. I like how he has pushed the pawn that we have as an extra pawn. It's a pass pawn, and also the bishop could make it to the long diagonal. But being part of Team Hikaru, I'm very proud of being part of Team Hikaru, and Hikaru will be competing in an upcoming major top tournament this Sunday, starting this Sunday. We're gonna talk about that later, yes, with Bay and the team and everyone. But there's lots coming up. There's lots of events coming up, guys, and Hikaru will be competing. Levi and myself will be covering the event on Hikaru's channel. Exactly. Thank you, Chazway. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy to see you, especially on this day, but every day, but today even more special. I'm just hoping we will not give up the queen in this game. Okay, good. No, I know normally Jacob doesn't blunder his queen, so that was just a rare thing in the previous game. I'm not gonna give signs of surprise on my face or try to hide it because
what the fuck? Oh no.
Jacob has realized it. He still has such a good position, even if he doesn't take the rook.
What's this?
Even if he doesn't take the rook, he's
what was that? That was
okay.
that was something. That was...
It's alright. We don't need the free rook. We can win the game without the free rook. The only issue, we are down to 35 seconds, so I'm worried about the time management. Time management is very important in Blitz, and here we are low on time. 27 seconds left. He's just giving us to the opponent. Exactly. I just don't want too much time odds. This is a great position. Jacob is winning. On the board, he's winning, but he's down on time. 24 seconds versus 42. There are a couple of winning moves in this position. The question is how fast he can play those moves. For instance, this bishop move.
not now, Angel. All right.
20 seconds left. We're giving up the queen, but for 2 rooks, so it's good. It's good. he's winning. He's got a very strong move. Exactly, very strong move. 12 seconds though. His position is winning, but he doesn't have time. The opponent is down on time too, but we have a bit less. So this is crucial. It's crucial to keep playing fast. Very good move. Very good move to bring in the next rook. He's winning. Oh, that queen move is annoying though. That queen move is annoying. The opponent didn't realize it. The opponent did not realize, and now we are winning, but the rook is hanging. Oh no! Don't lose on that.
Wait, this is
Oh no!
one of the weirdest games ever.
Oh no! He had it. He was so
What on earth? What on earth was this? Alright. My goodness.
You had it, Jacob. You had it.
Yes, yes. He made me chuckle with the rook move. Where the rook was just chilling there, and I completely, just missed it. That was silly of me.
That's okay, because you were so low on time. You were just moments away from converting it into a full point, but it was difficult with not much time. Literally, you had like 5 seconds in that position. Open the position.
All right. I felt like I converted into something winning.
Yeah.
Even though a part of me regretted my queen move to put it in front of the rook.
Mm-hmm.
But then my rooks were so well placed, so I was happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything went a bit too fast in the end.
It was very fast, but I was so proud of you. Keep on playing strong moves and fast, because the moment too when you give up the queen, that wasn't such an easy decision to take. Let's go through the initial moves.
Okay.
And you tell us any first critical moments, any positions where you had doubts.
I felt very comfortable here because I thought I just want a pawn, and I feel like I love this. When I play the French and I'm here, I'm very happy. I get to win a pawn. And here I was considering if I should queen capture, but I saw that I would just lose a piece. So that sucks. And then I just did this, and I thought this was a terrible move from him because I think he just lost the move. So it seemed very silly. Like his queen was exactly the same there as it did in the previous position. So I didn't like this move from him. And then I just continue with my original plan because I am more solid there on the thing. And then here, I was thinking if there's something... I wasted a lot of time here because I was considering like a move like this. But I thought it would just be met with this and it would just be too weird. So I didn't like this. So I was happy with my little plunder here. Like I'm a Viking. I already found enough gold. So I'm going back home. And I just thought that I'm going to simplify it and enjoy being up 2 pawns. This was my thought process.
It's a good call. Good call to come back with the queen. Yes.
Cool. Here, trying to remember what I thought. Oh yeah, I thought pushing this pawn would be powerful. This was my thought process. Like if I push this pawn, I'm gonna suffocate him. But I think it was a mistake because I realized that I opened up this barrage then into like this. I just made this bishop so strong. So exactly. I regret this move. And
you
then
regret it?
I kind of regretted it, yes. Due to just opening the file here. But maybe I was too scared because maybe I should have just played the bishop move earlier.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was praising you for pushing the pawn because it opens your bishop diagonal too.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I was like, wow, this is big brain move. You're pushing so that then you can activate your bishop on the long diagonal.
It was my thought, but then I was like, wow, his piece is already lined up here.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm looking at it and I think I was just too afraid of putting my bishop here, which I shouldn't have. And then if I wanted to, I can trade the dragon and I'm happy.
Trade the dragon. I like the way you put it. Yeah, let's get rid of the dragon. Exactly. Just we need to be careful about the queen because it's still sometimes. The idea
Jesus.
is good. You just need to make it in the right move order.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Certainly.
But all of this is great, and you can play that bishop move anytime. So it's not an urgent move.
Okay.
Not too urgent. If this b7 pawn isn't taken, your opponent didn't want to take it, so you could have played also a move later, that bishop move.
Yes, yes.
Instead of that, you castled, which is very logical too, and then you push the b pawn before it could be captured again. So here, this was another of those moments where you can play the bishop move first, trade the g2 dragon, as
Mhm.
you called it, and then you can push the b pawn. So
Okay.
since you opened up the diagonal for the queen and the bishop, it's good to chase them away first and then push the pawn if you want to.
Okay, okay. Will do. For sure.
Excellent. But this is also a good move, so it's not a mistake to push. It's only a minor thing that now the queen and the bishop on the long diagonal for white is still quite a powerful combination for how active those pieces are, and your bishop on d7 isn't too much participating. But that's
Yes,
also it's just a tiny detail.
Right.
After rook b3, h6, that's good. It's to make your king. I think you played it. Actually, I'm gonna ask.
Just I have little time, so I'm just gonna do a move that seems good. It was just a move. I didn't know
It's a safe move.
I didn't know how to develop here, and then after I took the time to do this, I realized I wanted to play a rook and then start pushing my pawn, and then I wanted to place the bishop over here.
Yeah,
was my thought process.
Good thinking that when you're low on time, safety first. This is a useful move. I'm sure you know it also for to prevent back rank mates, to guard the g5 square. So good thinking there. All these moves are great, except for when you realized there was an even better move.
Yeah, this was funny to me. I felt really bad because I also made my queen so much weaker. So I don't know. I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it
should just
surprised you that he played that rook move. So it was just very much out of the blue. Otherwise, you would have taken it, I think.
Yeah, I think the psychology of my position affected me in a bad way because I felt very defensive.
You felt very defensive.
Yes. I felt very, very defensive, and I think I just wanted to solidify was my thought process. But this was silly. I should just eat this thing for breakfast, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, your opponent realized the mistake and moved the rook back. But then you continued with really strong moves. So pushing the pawn all the way to b4 was great. Now bishop c6 to chase the queen away, and a5. All these moves are strong. You realize that you can't take because of the pin, so your rook will be captured. You played a5, and after this trade, I think at this stage you already had just very, very low time on the clock. That was the only issue. It's not so easy to keep making the strongest moves. But you played very well, and even here, just realizing that you can give up the queen for 2 rooks, that it's good for you because then you can bring your rooks to the back rank, and that's what happened. You won then the bishop. I was so proud of all of this. Then you opened up the b5 for the rook to bring it to b2.
Yes.
The only problem was that the queen, he didn't take it first. Like, he didn't see it first that it's hanging.
What a disaster. My goodness. Yeah. I had many regrets here.
You were very low on time. I think it's totally normal to blunder when you had 5 seconds literally for these last final moves. So don't read too much. I think what you should see overall is that you played a lot of very strong moves, from how you expanded on the queen side to create this passed pawn, to be ready to give up your queen, because that's also something that is not easy to know when it's okay to give up the queen for rooks or minor pieces. I think all those were great. and
Okay.
spotting this idea that the back rank is weak and you can win the bishop. So if it wasn't for, if you had another 15-20 seconds, you would have won this game easily.
Okay. Is there some mate here hidden? Considering the bishop chops off the... Or there's
Good
nothing.
question.
Maybe not.
Maybe
Maybe it's too slow.
you could start by taking with the bishop, but it's difficult to make a move like that when you don't have much time. So it's easier to go for checks and then see. But perhaps it's even stronger if you take with the bishop, because you are threatening to win the queen. You're threatening to play bishop h3.
Okay.
And if the queen moves away, now your rooks are already connected, and you can still go for that check and then bring in the second rook. I don't think it's a forced mate. I don't see a mate. It probably you will end up winning the queen. Like, what would you play here? Let's try to play this out.
I guess I would just look to do something like this. And then
Exactly.
this is...
Has to go there.
And then I would continue something like this. And
the king
then
has again
only one square.
Yes.
And I guess it's... I'm just thinking if the rook to the over there is better or there is better. I like this move better because of the potential, like, because I want to move away from the queen in case I run into at any point in time where there is no check. And then if he blunders and goes down...
What happens if he goes up? Can we just take a look at that very quickly?
Okay.
If the king goes up.
So which square? The dark square or the light square?
Let's say dark square.
Okay, dark square. I guess I win the queen.
Yes, and if I go to the light square,
is it death? Or is it just the same
you can give
thing?
that bishop check too. King goes to the dark square now.
There we go, same thing.
Yes. Nice.
Yay!
You win the queen and then you win the game, exactly. Nicely done. So if the king goes back, because that was the other line you were looking at, if the king goes back, is there a way to convert this immediately, or maybe we just need a bit more of regrouping the pieces?
I guess... I'm looking, I have the bishop check, but I don't know really what that does. It's going to just walk along this line. So that should be okay. Then there's, of course, so which way do I want to push him? I guess is my question. Because I'm thinking if I move the rook down to the second rank, that I am just going to repeat the same sequence as before.
Yes, it's similar. Although you got the bishop to h3, and if now after this check the king goes down, it cannot go back into that area, right? It was coming from there. So there's a bit of a difference. Doesn't mean that there's an immediate win, but you do have two rooks and the bishop, and the king is on the back rank. It's cut due to this rook, so you're very close to forming a mating pattern around the white king. What could be a mate here in a few moves? What would be a pattern?
I guess I just capture this.
You can capture that pawn and you are threatening.
Just rook mate. Boom.
Exactly. So even if white defends, like white could still guard that square, you have multiple ways to recreate that threat or to bring the other rook to the second rank. And now if you were to win the queen for the two rooks, you still are a bishop up. So even if we reach a position where white could give up the queen for your two rooks, you should be winning
Yes,
endgame.
yes.
The issue is that you're low on time, so if you don't manage to give checkmate when you're down on 5 seconds, it doesn't matter that the endgame is winning.
Yeah.
So that's why time is so crucial. It was difficult to finish this game. You were winning, but it was difficult to finish it in time.
What happens here if I move the bishop to the checkmate square?
That means that you're a genius.
No. It's too much, Anna. I'm gonna have the biggest ego ever after these
But like
lessons.
you have just pointed out the winning move. I was giving you an alternate move that's easier to play in a blitz game, and then you say, "But what about this move?" Well, what would happen after the bishop move? White has to give a check to run away, but your king will be very safe and guarded thanks to this bishop and the pawns, and it's pretty much game over.
Nice. I'm gonna come
I
into
think you
PogChamps
do
with
it.
the biggest ego. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm here to crush everyone. And then the moment I lose the game, everything will collapse.
No, but honestly, I'm not even asking. So people often ask me like the coaching sessions that are on my YouTube or during streams too, like, but isn't this or that move better? But I'm trying to be very practical and see it from what is it that I expect that you spot. Like, I'm not asking you to always spot the top move of the engine because we are
Okay.
here to be very practical. And then you say moves like, but Anna, the bishop move. Nice, excellent job.
It's
Big
your wording
brain.
makes me think. Really, your wording makes me think. It's like I hear your wording and I'm like, what does this? What's there? What's hidden in the meaning?
It was your own brilliancy because I didn't try to lead you there. It was you who spotted it. I was like, okay, be practical, get the queen, 2 rooks on the second, something will win. But no, this is the strongest because now the b1 square is guarded by the bishop too. So even if white would find a way to guard it, coming back here to try to take the rook,
That's a
you're
puzzle
winning
move.
the queen. Yeah, you're winning the queen. What would be your move here to finish the puzzle?
Well, I guess the easy one is the rook and just get the knight, but is there something cooler? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, there's no checkmate, but I'm wondering what would be your way of conversion. Getting the queen for free is even better than getting it for the rook. Excellent job. Now this is the X-ray attack that will win the queen. Nicely done.
I was thinking some silliness like here, and then maybe I had to chase him up, do something here. Well, it ends the same way. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent job.
Thank you, Anna.
Honestly, I'm still shocked by that bishop f5 because I was just suggesting alternative practical moves, not that it doesn't have to be the best line. But you're right. If you're down to 5 seconds and if you don't play this, it will take longer to win the game.
Cool. Now, this bishop move, I had it in my mind for other reasons from before. Because when we were like in the like here, I was starting to think that I can potentially. My idea to win was to make I placed the bishop over here because my idea was I'm hoping to push the king to this position and then to do this move. So I was hoping to put the bishop on this square for so long. And that's the only reason I kept it in mind.
I thought that was also a very strong move, the bishop d3 idea, because it opened up the b5 for your rook.
Yes.
It also allowed you to go toward f5, so it's a multi-purpose move. Very, very big brain moves that you have been playing in these games.
Thank you.
If you only had 10, 15, or 20 seconds more, depending on what the final position would have been, you would have won.
That is very comforting. Thank you, Anna. Nicely
done. Let's do a few more of these.
Okay.
A few more games.
All right, let's go.
You're on fire. I'm afraid of stopping you. We gotta keep going.
To be fair, I lost every game so far, so that's except the one. Did I win one? Doesn't matter.
You did. Yeah, you did, but I don't count these as losing. No one has outplayed you.
I'm learning so much.
You gave up a queen in one of the games. That was how you lost it.
That
because
one
you
I
were
got
too
crushed.
generous.
Yes, yes.
And this one you lost on time. You were no, but you lost the rook before you lost on time, but you were gonna lose on time, so I didn't count that rook blunder at all because you were down to 2 seconds.
All right.
Doesn't make a difference.
Cool. Okay, I'm heading in,
Good
Anna.
luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Let's see. Yamato again with the black piece is going for the French defense. He's playing really well. He just needs that speed. He needs to keep the speed up in order to have enough time at the end of the games to convert it. So it's again a similar situation with the pawn. I wonder if it will be somewhat unpleasant to Yamato that this d5 pawn is isolated and not gone from the board, but it's okay. It's only a pawn until we take it with the queen. And I'm gonna try to
No. new game. New game. New
It's
game,
okay.
new game.
I think we can go for a new game.
That didn't happen, Anna.
It didn't happen.
Come on.
It didn't happen. That did not happen.
That's just, been watching Alexandra Botes, it's
Yes.
it's a classic
Too many Bottas streams.
classic position.
Classic
Yeah.
Bottas gambit. Okay, second attempt. Second attempt. Let's see. What do you guys think? I hope throwing for content. Yeah, that's gonna be the start of my YouTube video. It has to be. Has to be. Okay, now we need to be careful because the opponent is threatening to give this fork. The knight jumping into c7 would give a check and attack the rook in the corner. We need to find a way to prevent it. Let's see. You guys saw nothing? Let's see the first, aka second, aka first attempt. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. Nicely done. That's the one way in which black can deal with it. It's not the nicest of moves. Usually you don't want to place your knight on the edge of the board, but it was out of necessity. Sometimes you gotta do it to guard the square and not let the rook be captured in the corner. Yamato is very focused on the game, so he's not commentating on the game. Sometimes he will say something that he wants to communicate, but mainly I want him to be fully focused on these games as if it was PogChamps. We are trying to recreate the PogChamps environment where it's only him versus an opponent in a mini match, and you don't take on the game as a streamer. Normally when we play chess on streams we always communicate our thoughts and such, but that's a competition where he has to be as focused as possible. It's okay that he missed it. It's not a big deal, that move, but I'm just hoping he'll keep playing fast because time can be an issue. There was no other way of dealing with the fork. Not that I can recall. In that position, I think knight a6 was the strongest. Yeah, he takes more time but finds the big brain moves. Exactly. Okay, white castles to the flank where he has pushed the pawn, so it makes the king more vulnerable on that flank. I like it. I like it for black that now the king will be in all sorts of attacks, and bishop g4 would have been an option earlier to attack the queen and the rook. We missed that opportunity. Instead of castling, he could have played that move. Still, it's a really nice position for black. I like this move a lot. The queen is getting into the attack, attacking the pawn on a4, and with that pawn also attacking the king on the queen side. Nice. Again, his attacking skills, Yamato's attacking skills are very impressive. Now that pawn is captured, that will undermine the a4 pawn and everything collapses on the queen side. If the pawn is not taken, then we can use this capture on b3 to open up the c file. He probably will bring a rook to the c file and try to attack through that open file. That would be my prediction. That or something on the b4 square too. You could hop in there with the bishop, with the knight, but rook on c8 is logical if he's not worried about the pawn. Queen b4 makes sense too. may not be the strongest. So apparently it was a mistake, but it was just for the engine. You see the evaluation bar jumping up and down. White had a really good move in that position of the queen b4, but it wasn't spotted. Still, it is not an easy position. Yamato really wants to get rid of this knight to get the queen to a3. Difficult to get rid of it though because there are two of them. And now the rook 2 it joins the defense. 32 seconds left. So my biggest concern here for Yamato is again the time factor, that we don't have much time and the position is chaotic. It's very messy. It's not easy to convert it. We will go through those stages and why it was a mistake when we can, but now mid-game I cannot go back to that position. Knight e4 is a strong attacking move. Once again, he's playing really good moves, but we are down to 18 seconds, so time will be unfortunately a decisive factor. He's trying to double rooks in the c5, so the plan has been good, the ideas are good, the moves are strong, but time, 9 seconds left. 9 seconds. I'm really worried. Ooh, the bot is gambit. Take it, Yamato. He cannot hear me. He resigned. No, he resigned. No. Jacob.
I couldn't find it. I was digging for so long, I just couldn't find it. I knew there was something there. I knew there's something so painful that's there. But
yeah, it was a difficult position to find the attack at the end. Well, basically for the whole middle game, you were attacking on the queen side, and it's not so easy to find it. I'm gonna set this up on an analysis board.
Show me the poison, Anna. What's the poison?
We gotta start from the very bottom, from the very end, the last position. You thought you blundered your bishop.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay. I'm afraid that even if you take the queen, you were so low on time that you would most likely lose on time a few moves later. You had like 4 seconds.
Yes. That's kind of why I resigned. I was just looking at the time and I didn't think much further than that. I just wasted way too much time on the little trap that he put, and there was only one move in the position I think that was valid, and I wasted like a minute or something on that alone.
It happens. Let's go through the game from the very start now. And if you would like to take over the control and show us some of the critical moments.
I wasted way too much time.
Yeah, but it was a difficult moment because your opponent went straight in for it. Knight c7 is a huge threat, and that would win the rook. So you need to find a way to prevent it, and it's not a natural move to place the knight on the edge, and it's the only way. You found it.
I was is there, I guess, if anything, is this something?
You can try to give the check, but it doesn't necessarily change the position too much. If, for instance, your opponent plays c3, you still have to deal with it. So you're hoping the bishop would go back, right? Or a queen.
Yeah, I guess. But I didn't realize that the bishop is defending the knight. Actually, I'm just blind. It's a soap. It's all the soap in my eyes.
It's all because of the soap and the lost keys.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, if the knight was hanging, it would make sense to give that check to chase the knight back. True.
So then the next thing here, honestly, I feel very good here. Like when he castled queenside, I didn't understand what the hell that was. I thought that was very, very silly. I see my c-pawn is already up there.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. I'm so happy that's what you thought of his move, because it is very scary for him to castle in here. I don't know why he did it. You immediately started attacking.
Yes. And then I wanted to do this move. And I don't remember what he actually did.
c4 is such a strong move. I was saying how you have great attacking skills, and this, by intuition, you play moves like this to undermine the a4 pawn and open up the c file. Very strong move. Your opponent was resilient because he stepped out of the c file And here, I was thinking whether you will bring the rook to the c file, because that's one way to go if you start bringing heavy pieces to the c file, or if you try to use the b4 square and then you played queen b4, which looks like a good attacking move. But now I would like you to turn the tables and think of this position from white's perspective and see if you can find a really strong move for
Ooh.
white.
Yeah. Why my queen is trapped?
It is, but it doesn't look like it should get trapped. It looks
Yes,
like a
yes.
very strong attacking piece. It doesn't look
Wow.
like a queen that has nowhere to go.
Yes, yes. Me and him, we were in the same thought process that this is such a dangerous queen with the barrage. And then I was just thinking to myself, how do I deal with this knight? And then
Yeah.
his second knight came into play, and then I felt like everything kind of fizzled out. And I was trying to grasp for something because of our conversation in the previous game, where I just needed to look for some kind of mates here before he
Yeah.
develops all his pieces. So this was strange. Yeah, bye queen.
It's okay to miss this idea because queen b4 looks like an aggressive attacking move. So I can see the appeal of the move, and it's very rare that the retreating bishop move like that would trap the queen. It's only because this square is guarded by the pawn, this by the knight,
Yes,
and your
yes.
bishop is on e7. Otherwise, it would not be possible.
Yeah.
He played this move, bishop here. You were trying to eliminate the knight, I think, to get your queen to a3. I thought
Yes.
that was your idea. The only problem is that he's got two of them, so it's you have to get rid of both. You have to trade both.
I was also thinking here if I should just get rid of my knight. Basically, sacrifice my knight, let him capture it with the pawn, I recapture with the bishop, and then I can move my pawn forward.
So you mean move order-wise, it would be you can play out the moves. You would want to.
So I was considering this move.
Oh, that way. And if the
And
pawn
this
moves,
way,
then you wanna
he
push.
has to capture because I have the capture here, and then boom. And then my thought
I
process
see.
is, but I guess he can always capture it, which I didn't think about.
Yeah, although then you will take it to. So it's interesting. It's interesting what you're saying, and also for opening up this diagonal
Yes,
to be
yes.
able to move your pawn and attack on b3. That's a very good thought. It doesn't always work, but it's good to know that you're looking at those type of ideas because you wanted to find a way to get to the king, even if it takes a sacrifice, a piece sacrifice.
Yes, yes.
Nicely done. I'm proud of you because it's not easy to break through these pawns and the knights plus the bishop. They're guarding the king very well.
Yes, yes. So is this the best move? The knight move? From here?
Objectively may not be the best, but practically it could be a really good attempt. Like the evaluation bar, so I have the bar on and it jumps, which means that the engine doesn't agree with us. But
Okay.
I think in a game, if you sacrifice that and then you push d4 and you go for the b3 pawn, you probably end up winning. And it doesn't agree. So the bar is like, oh no, this is winning for white. But yeah, but how? Okay, maybe here it's just that knight takes will guard the b3 pawn. So I might have gotten too excited about this position.
Oh.
But overall, the idea, or what you wanted to take back and then try to push.
Yes.
So
yes.
you're threatening to attack this knight, and if the knight is gone, then you have queen a3.
Yes, yes.
I do think that in a practical game, it makes sense sometimes to go for something crazy like this because it's more difficult to defend accurately than to find these forcing moves. So
Okay.
even if the engine sometimes says, no, you're a piece sub, this doesn't make sense. It's a game, and in a game whatever works. So it's a blitz game. You scare the opponent. Psychologically, it's difficult to be on the defensive. You're opening up his king side. So I think it in practice it does make sense.
Okay.
Also makes sense what you played, bishop d7, because you are trying to trade it. Then you played this move, and everything was fine until the very end. Knight e4 I like a lot too. You're trying to undermine his defense, and then doubling rooks, rook c6 to bring the other rook to c1. You played very well this stage of the game. It was simply that you were short on time. Like here, a move before it ended. I think your position still looks promising. The evaluation bar once again doesn't care about us, but that's because obviously this bishop d2 is not a threat anymore, but the queen is still without any squares, so
Okay.
it will find patterns because of the queen and such. The knight on a6 is stuck, but in a practical game, I still think that black should have better chances because your pieces look more terrifying. You are in a position where you have the upper hand. Your opponent was very defensive. He defended well, but I feel like he went too much on the defensive. The rook
Okay.
a1 move, capturing with the bishop, those were not necessary, but he thought he has to have all the pieces going back next to the king.
Yes, yes.
So it's
All
very
right.
impressive that you kept going. It was only the time factor that decided in the end.
Yes, yes. Yeah, this bishop on the a file was, I mean, not the bishop, but the knight.
The knight.
I kind of just wanted to use the pawns, but I couldn't find the time to. I guess here, if I would continue, I would probably do something like knight to b8.
Yeah, good thought, because your knight is in the way of your pawns, and then you could regroup your pieces. You could give space for your pawn to chase the knight away, and you at the same time try to bring the knight in toward the center, get it off of the edge. That's a good thought.
All right, cool.
But in terms of your attack, or if you missed anything, it was really nice, the intuition that you need to get the queen there, push the pawn, but your opponent defended so resiliently that there was no forcing line. I didn't see any concrete line that could win the game, so it was tough. It was tough to get through because of this knight, the other knight coming here, and your knight stuck. Because if your knight was not here, you could chase away his knight and then push the b pawn as well. So your knight was in the way of your own attack.
Yeah, maybe I should have just just do this now.
Good thought, because now you realize that was a problem piece. So if you don't place the queen there but the knight, then you can push the pawn and mobilize all these pawns on the queen side. That would make it easier. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Very good job.
So nutritious games. All right, one more
game, because we should finish on a high note. I know that we should finish on a high note.
Yes. It's today feels like a chess day, so I have a lot of games in me.
Good
I'm
luck.
up again. Thank you very much.
Yes.
See you soon.
I know he'll do it. He has been playing really big brain moves. Most of the games Yamato is dominating. It's only the time factor that decides the game sometimes against him. But that's why we are practicing Blitz, because he's really good. I'm telling you guys, his skills are impressive in terms of what he knows about the opening principles, middle game skills, end game too. So he has a really good grasp of knowledge of all three parts of a chess game. Tactics are also the tactical pattern recognition, combinations that he sees, attacking skills. You saw his intuition for attacking skills. So all that is great, but we are practicing Blitz games on purpose, because if he does get into PogChamps, just let's not panic. Yamato,
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, it's not an ideal square for the knight, but there was no other option, so sometimes you gotta do it. Yeah, what I was trying to say is that...
What happened here? Jesus Christ.
Don't panic. I know it can look scary, but don't worry. Don't worry.
Get my pieces out somehow.
We are practicing Blitz because of the PogChamps
Stop wasting time.
Especially. In case he gets into PogChamps, a tiebreaker can be either Armageddon or Blitz games. I don't play in Title Tuesdays, I don't compete anymore, but thanks for asking. I will be here later playing Risk, probably, with the community. If you guys are down for a game of Risk, I was planning to play Risk today.
Why?
It has always been one of my favorite board games. Apart from chess, obviously, but for me, chess was my entire career, not just a game.
This doesn't feel threatening. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, because the queen alone cannot do any miracle. The queen alone will not give checkmate.
See you there, bishop.
Yeah. We'll take over the world with our wholesomeness. Exactly, Noah. That's the plan. We're gonna take over the world. Nicely done. I like that knight maneuver. So the knight is coming all the way from the back rank and now made it to f4. This is a good position for white. The black king is still in the middle of the board. We just need to find a way to start our initiative as well. G3 is a bit committal, but I understand that Yamato wants to chase this queen away and stop black's attack. Now, with the queen on g5, there are all sorts of discovered attacks. So if he sees a follow-up, a nice knight jump would be great. He cannot hear me, that's why I can say these moves. Otherwise, I wouldn't be suggesting moves.
I'm running out
but
of time, so I'm gonna just go for the
nice.
crazy idea I
Well,
had.
Crazy, but winning idea. He's taking the
I guess he
queen.
fell for it.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Even if he had moved the queen, that was a brilliant move. We're gonna see it in the analysis later. So time can be an issue, and this attack against the white king. I'm just hoping we will not run into any. There's some issues around the king. Let's just hope. Oh no! 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 Please don't.
What a
Please
disaster.
Don't. Please don't.
Oh no.
Oh, you found it. Oh no. He said. Yamato said. It's okay.
What a disaster.
You played so well though. You went for the discovered attack. Well, we're gonna set this up on our board so that we can go through the moves. I know you feel disappointed. I know this is not how you wanted to finish the game. So we're gonna play another game because I know you don't like to finish like this. So that's guaranteed.
Nice, thank you.
That's guaranteed. But second, you played very well the game, and it was a difficult one because your opponent started going very aggressive on the king side. He started all this initiative, going for the g pawn push, which is scary. I think you reacted well. E5 and after g4, the only square for the knight is on e1. It's not an ideal spot, but you have to play it. It's the only move, and he's losing time. So all this has taken him a couple of pawn pushes: g5, g4, h5. So while it looks scary, it isn't bad for you because he's not using that time to develop his pieces and to get his king into safety.
No, okay. We take it.
We do. I think you played very well the rest of the game too, because you're making sure that you can develop your pieces. From c4, if your knight is attacked, where else you think you could go if you don't want to go to a3? Because that could be a bit similar to how your knight was in the previous game.
Yes.
Anywhere else?
Because this is a move?
Yeah, that move, for instance, because that helps you later. It helps you stop this expansion because that pawn is now even under even more pressure, and it can also help you push in the center in the future if this pawn is not if the pawn is not hanging. Depends on the circumstances, of course, always whether you can or not, but the knight will be helpful here. Yes, much more helpful to your position than the knight here, right?
Yes.
To see the difference.
Yeah, for sure. I was also worried about him just continuing with the pawn, and then I have to jump back all the way to the beginning, and I went on a world tour.
If he does attack you, where would you jump?
I guess I just go back to the original square of.
Yeah.
I just go back here, I guess.
Yeah, actually, you would be happy here if he attacks you because you can jump back. The bigger concern is that your knight gets stuck on the edge, and you will have to then maybe move it back to activate it, or move c3 to come back to c2. So just try to avoid your knights going to very passive positions. The knight on e1 was a must because there's no other square, so that's fine. And then you can make it back by jumping to d3. You'll activate it again. But if you have a choice, try to choose squares for your pieces that are active, that keep the piece active. So knight e3, or you can even consider this move. It looks strange because it's on the edge, but it does attack the bishop. So you're winning some time with this move. You need to make sure that your knight doesn't get into trouble because it's undefended on a5 and doesn't have much company. So you need to be a bit careful about moves like this, but If it's a tempo, usually it should be fine because now he has to move the bishop.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that looks very nice.
Yeah, I think he would place the bishop here to keep it on the long diagonal and try to restrict your knight, but perhaps it's time for just going with the initiative and attacking it again. And if you trade, you can decide whether to take with the knight or with the bishop. But in both cases, I think the most important is to try to keep the knight active. So whether e3 or a5, but try to avoid making your pieces that's restricted. So you want to increase the potential of your pieces and restrict the opponent's pieces.
Okay.
I think that must be similar to League, I'm guessing. The more dominant your players are, your champions in comparison to the opponent's team. Does that make sense in League 2 that
Yes,
you want
yes.
to maximize your own pieces and you try to restrict the opponents?
Yes, somewhat, for sure, yes. There are parallels.
I'm still a very noob, so I can't make proper parallels, but hopefully one day. I started playing as Lux and I really like her. I main Lux.
That's cool. She has all the quotes about tactics, no? She says tactical decision, summoner.
I
Maybe that's
still
an
don't
old...
understand them properly, but I'm like, wow, she's so cute. Like, that's my understanding, that she's a cute character with lots of light power. I like how it's all about light and the parallel, how she's like a positive figure from what I understand.
Have you seen the movies about her? Or like the little like video
I've seen a
cinematics?
few short. Yes, I've seen a few of the cinematics. It's
She's a
brilliant.
badass in those. Super cool. Riot really know how to sell the game.
Yeah, they
They do
did
it
sell
well.
it to me. I saw her in one of those cinematics, and I was like, I want to play as Lux. She's my champion.
Understandable. I was thinking I should cosplay Lux. That's next in
Will you
line for me,
cosplay
probably.
it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I can pull it off now.
it was a
Cosplay
suggestion
Lux.
in the chat too. Yeah, with the beard, I think it would be very fitting. The blonde wig and the beard.
Lovely. Okay. Even in
Do
the
you have a
cosplay world, you
favorite
give me
champion?
confidence. For me, favorite champion? I am too much of a meta slave. I like playing what's strong. So that
What's strong?
So currently I'm playing a lot of tanks because tanks are unbelievably broken because they released a new item set, so everything is kind of all over the place, and tanks just landed in a place where they're just unbelievably powerful. They just
Oh,
win most games because they just buy one item and that item is too powerful. It turns them
Wow.
into the equivalent of a chess queen. So that's
ooh,
GG most of the time.
GG.
You just count tanks.
That
Oh, we have
makes
3
sense.
tanks, we win. Yeah, that's pretty much the game right now.
I'm gonna take notes, and I know which champion to go for next. Thank you.
Yes.
Although with my skills, I think it doesn't matter whom I play. I just need to practice.
You'd be surprised when it comes to tanks how easy it is. it's just press your buttons. It's like
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try if I can get that champion. Thank
you should play. But you should play what you find fun. I think that's most important. For sure.
Same about chess.
I like the French defense, so I'm gonna stick to it.
Stick to it. C3 is good because I think you realize that you will need to get that knight back into the game, and this other knight too. So you had 2 knights to improve. You had to improve both. And after knight f4, this is perfect, coming from e1 to d3 to f4, because that helps your king. You realize that the opponent started to be very ambitious about that attack. So knight f4 is a very important move. And now you decided to chase the queen away. This is a committal move, but I like the idea that you want to chase your opponent's attacking pieces back.
Yeah.
And that's one way to deal with it, to tell the queen, you know what, you have to go back, whether it's g5 or e7 or d8, you have to go back. And he played queen g5 because your opponent really wanted to get that attack done, so he keeps the queen close, but that had an issue. And you realize that the queen is on the same diagonal as your bishop. You played knight d5, and you said that this actually, how did you phrase it? I felt like you were saying as if it was just a trick, but is it a trick, or do you think it's a strong move?
I felt like it was a trick because I didn't have enough time to think it all through. So it felt like a trick because of that. But I just saw that I have the potential fork. I have the tempo of a check.
Yeah.
In the case where he does something like this, I have the rook capture. So I think this is the final piece of my calculation that made me think it was a trick. Because when I was looking at it, I for some reason thought that I would have to recapture with the queen. So it just felt like a trick because of it. But now looking at it, I see that I can capture with the rook. So it's definitely I like the move. I'm happy with my move.
Nicely done. It was a very strong move, even if your opponent didn't blunder the queen, because he took the knight. He didn't realize that the queen is hanging. But even if he moves the queen, how can he prevent that fork? So the queen is hanging, and you're threatening to take on c7. What is it that black has to play?
I guess it's just the move back with the queen.
Exactly. It has to go back. That's very sad that it has to go back, but that's the only defense. And now what would be a good follow-up for you? What do you think you should do?
I would... This looks like a nasty knight. So I'll just place it there.
Excellent. That check is very annoying. Guarded by the pawn, so that it cannot be captured, or then black will lose the queen. And if you cannot take it, it means that the king has to move. If the king has to move, it will never be able to castle. So
yes.
That knight is a monster on f6. Look how this queen used to be this attacking active piece, and now it's stuck on d8 behind the king.
That is very, very sad.
That was all thanks to your move, knight d5. Well done.
Cool.
Excellent. Cool. So now let's just see what happened by the end, because it was looking great, but your opponent still has chances, because this bishop, he lost the queen, but he lost it for 2 minor pieces, so it's not 0, the compensation. And this bishop is annoying on the long diagonal. You played knight c2 to bring the knight back, which is logical. And after h4, knight e3. The problem was you were very low on time here, so it's difficult to find the best defensive moves. In hindsight, can you spot, or where do you think you would have a better defensive chance when it comes to your king?
I was thinking if at this point, just because I am so winning, that I was considering if I should just do this.
To take the pawn, to give a piece back, but eliminate his pawns.
Yes.
So after this, so if black takes, you would
just recapture with the queen, and then enjoy my position.
Yeah, I think from a practical point of view, it definitely is. It's great that you considered it, because those pawns are annoying. they are restricting a lot. What can you do? You cannot bring your bishop here, and this bishop is annoying, so you will need to deal with it. Black wants to push h4 and then open up the h5 to give mate here. So I think it's great that you would consider giving a bishop up for those 2 pawns, because it probably is the best practical decision when it comes to that attacking position of black.
Cool.
You didn't have too much time, but unfortunately these knight moves here, is there still a way out? Let's see. So it was already very difficult, so I don't blame you for this at all. Here it's chaotic. Any move can lose already for white, but there are still some moves that don't lose.
Well, here I think I should have just captured with this pawn. I have some weird habit of capturing with my h pawn always, for some reason.
You want to capture toward the center, perhaps, because normally that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, and I think I've watched too many high-level games where I don't understand why they do it, but they do it because I just see it more often. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that is usually open file and no one gives a damn. So it's like,
True.
okay, I'll just allow it. But but yeah, I realized instantly when I capture because the capture happened like as a reflex.
Yeah. Now, what about this pawn capture? Does it save you, or is there something that's an issue?
Well, I guess the issue is still somewhat similar. Oh, that looks very nasty.
Yeah, it may not be. It may not lead to checkmate, so it was still less of an evil. But the king is very much in trouble. Looks like it's in trouble again because of the bishops now. You can still play rook f2, so you don't get mated, but black might be taking lots of material or just keeping this pin up. It's still. Oh wow! Look at you! Look at you! Okay. I mean, okay, I'm gonna be the student now, and Jacob is the coach. Look at
No.
knight takes g3.
This looks nasty. Huh?
It does.
This looks very nasty.
Yeah, and even if white doesn't take it, so if it's taken, it's checkmate on h1 with the rook. And if it's not taken, that knight will attack the rook, so you're not giving up the bishop for my rook. You can play knight e4 and then take the rook.
Yeah. Disaster.
You're really good at attacking skills. Your attacking skills are brilliant, and that makes you a very good attacking player intuitively. That you spot these ideas intuitively, and that's so important that like you can see it like this. Nice.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. You're so
So
kind,
what
Anna.
shall we do? No, I'm objective. I'm objective.
Well, at this point, I am. I guess I just. And then I'll figure it out. Even though it's still a bit of a mess.
Yeah, because that bishop has been always the one that kills the king. So we
Yes,
get rid
yes.
of that bishop, you have way more chances of survival, even if this is a check. So you can allow this check if there's no bishop on d5.
Yes, yes.
Where do we go with the king?
There we go.
Yeah, and it's interesting how this pawn is actually a pawn that black wishes that it wasn't on the board in cases like this. Black doesn't have enough attacking pieces because you got rid of the most important one. That bishop on d5 was the key attacking piece, and you got rid of it.
Nice.
But now without that bishop, his attack is over. Also, thanks to this pawn, you can use it as a shield. It's guarding your king. You can hide under the pawn. It's actually protecting your king.
What a nice guy.
Yes.
Give him.
He's the
That's
imposter.
Billy. Billy the pawn. Yes, the imposter.
Well done. Yes, you could have saved it like this, but you were so low on time that it's okay when you are low on time that you can't find moves like this. So we are just practicing the speed in order to have a bit more time for decisions like this, because if I know that if you had time, you would have realized that it's the bishop you need to take.
All right, all right. I'm curious what will happen because I didn't play a 10-minute game now since the first lesson. I didn't play a single one. I'm wondering if it's like, like in Dragon Ball where they remove the turtle shell. Have you seen Dragon Ball? Yeah, the turtle
Yes,
shell, and I'm
yeah.
just 10 minutes of time. Oh my goodness.
Let's try. You want to play a 10-minute game or 5-minute game? Let's increase the time for the last game and see
Okay.
how it feels.
All right, all right.
5 or 10 minutes, whichever you prefer.
All
We'll
right.
increase it.
I will do a 10-minute game.
Sure.
Is
Let's see.
that still Blitz? No, it's not Blitz, right? It's 10
That-
minutes.
Yeah, that's in between. It could be rapid, especially if there's increment. So
Okay, so no increment, 10 minutes, so I don't waste too much of your time.
You're not wasting my time ever. I'm
All
very
right.
happy to be here. It's an honor to coach you.
Thank you, thank you. The pleasure is all mine. I will hop on in. See you on the other side.
Let's
Anna.
go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's see how it will feel for Jacob after all these blitz games that are 3-minute games. He's now playing what he used to play, 10-minute games. So this should feel like a lot of time, but I'm curious how he will divide that time, because you need to be very good at time management, regardless of if it starts with 3 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, hour. You need to know how you distribute that time. When do you decide to spend more time? When do you invest more time in a position? When do you speed up? So it's still gonna be interesting how he handles time. Thank you guys for the supportive words. He's a really good student. It's honored to work with someone who is this enthusiastic about chess and really wants to learn. I can't complain because all the PogChamp students were really good learners and they really tried their best. I can't wait for PogChamp 3. If there will be PogChamp 3, I'm gonna be screaming and shouting the moment I learn that there is the next event. I'm guessing it's not. If there will be one, I don't think it's.
My goodness, I really need to go to the bathroom.
See, in a 10-minute game, you have time to go to the bathroom. It's great. It's great. I need more water. I'm gonna refill. I'm gonna fill my jar because I'm running out of water and my throat is struggling a little bit. But in a 10-minute game, you can go to the bathroom. Oh, he's got a keyboard behind him. I saw the guitar, but I didn't see the keyboard. Really cool decoration. So, see, it's important. In a 3-minute game, you can't really go to the bathroom. In a 10-minute game, yeah. And I'm glad that he went to the bathroom before I do this. I wouldn't have done it if he has to go to the bathroom, but now I need water. I need water. Hydration is important. Yeah, my throat is struggling. I've got a sore throat. Drink a bit of tea later for our risk session. The bathroom gambit. Yeah, I mean, he still has 8.5 minutes. But it's only move 7, so we are losing some time here, but in a 10-minute game you can afford to lose a bit of time. Tea is also very important indeed, Noel. Hope you guys are enjoying the coaching session. I always am reading the chat so that you know that I see what you're saying. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not gonna be able to help you, so I'll have to ask you.
The reflex. Sorry.
It's okay. I knew he didn't do it on purpose. It's just that.
Well. Okay.
Streamer reflex.
I'll just castle.
Good move. Good move. And it's not an issue that Black wants to
capture my bishop.
See?
I dare you to capture my bishop.
I wonder if it will be taken. That's what Black was trying to do, but I don't think it's scary at all. And Jakob says the same because he's using that time that Black is wasting by moving the knight again and again. Jakob is using that time to castle and develop the pieces. It's important to castle, get your king into safety, and now after the trade on e3, the f pawn will take back, and that opens up the f5 for the rook. So I think Black is realizing that this knight g4.
He also went to the bathroom.
Actually a good move. He went to the bathroom, possibly. Possibly he went to the bathroom.
He doesn't see it.
The F file. Look at this. I think Jakob's attacking skills. His intuition will be telling him that maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something with the sacrifice. I think he will be looking at that move. Whether he plays it or not, I'm not sure. But he'll be looking at those ideas. I'm pretty certain.
This check is a little bit annoying.
Oh, he's worried about this check. That makes sense to be.
But do I just not give a damn? Oh, the amount of time I have feels so good. Jesus, I can take my time. I can eat an apple, a piece of an apple.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have time and be able to eat an apple and go to the bathroom. Good thinking. The queen guards the pawn, but that queen can also appear on the king's side. I like it too. I agree. I like it. What is the opponent doing?
I defend that already. No problem at all for me.
Yeah, exactly. He's not threatening
continue.
anything, but he's giving up this. He's giving up that pawn. I wonder if Jacob will take it or play
But
something
wait.
else.
I'm considering this. Just so I can later on capture with the bishop the pawn that is up there. I'll start with this. But I just screwed up actually.
No, it's fine. He's still okay. It's still fine because the king is still in the middle of the board and still so vulnerable. But yeah, it wasn't necessary to chase the knight away. It's okay. He just needs to keep believing in the position because it's still a good one. You guys can see the evaluation bar. Wilco, you love chess. Yamato
Not so happy
loves
about
chess
this
too.
one,
Look
not
at
gonna
you.
lie.
You two besties at this stage. You both love chess.
I just placed the queen over here.
Yeah, let's not play the Bottas gambit. Good thinking. Good thinking. That knight is trapped. The knight has nowhere to go. So yeah, we gave up that pawn. It was as if Jacob knew that he's gonna trap the knight. So I'm impressed that he thought he blew it, that it was a mistake, and eventually it's not a mistake.
Maybe I overestimated him.
Exactly. No. I think this is great. So it's interesting how.
Do you see my red marks, Anna? I don't know if you see them.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. But I do see that knight being red, because I'm marking it red.
Maybe it was just big brain. I just didn't know it was big brain.
Big brain.
I'm just trying to find a timer where I don't want him to castle. That's what I don't want him to do. But maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic with what I can do.
Yeah. So there's
I realize now that I'm talking, I might be talking over you because I don't hear you.
No,
so
no.
I'm very sorry if I am.
You're good.
Very sorry.
You're good. I'll try to stop so that we don't cut each other because Jacob cannot hear me. There's only one square for the knight because our pawn is pinned. So first question is, will black even realize that that square is available because the pawn is pinned? Probably black is already giving up on the knight because it was like, oh, queen d2, knight is trapped. So psychologically, very difficult situation for black. But even if he finds it, this move should not save the game. I think Jacob can simply continue with the move I'm drawing, capturing the black pawn, the central pawn, because that will attack f7, that will attack the knight. Black's position is collapsing if Jacob plays that move. Basically, that move or even moving the king out of the pin, but I think knight takes pawn, the white knight capturing the central pawn should be a winning position for Jacob. Let's see if he goes for it. Wilco, how was your exam?
Which move is nastier?
Let us know. Guys, Wilco is taking a 3-day exam, an electrician's exam. He's already an electrician, but it's to be
I
an
believe
even
this
bigger
move
brain
is nastier.
electrician. Which one is nastier? Let's see. Yes, going for the kill. Now the knight is hanging because the rook is attacking it. The f7 pawn is hanging.
This looks very nasty. Oof.
Very nasty. Yeah.
Very
White
nasty.
Is winning. White is winning. Absolutely.
Win card 71. Oh, sorry guys, you don't get to see the time. I'm just gonna adjust it real quick. Boom. That's the time control. Forgive me.
Oh no, Wilco, you still have 2.5 hours left of practice side, but it's going well. I'm glad to hear it's going well, though. All the best for the practice side. I can imagine how stressful it is. Okay, black is just going for whatever they can because it's a bad position. It was collapsing the position, but now it's collapsing even more. It's collapsing even more for black. So many possibilities for white. Taking the knight is a first step, and now let's see how Jacob sees that knight hanging. Will he move it? Will he sacrifice it? Yeah, it's better to keep it as long as you can, even if black can insist. Okay, I just hope he will not panic. I hope he will not panic because that's not a good move for black. It's not a good move. It just looks scary. I'm not gonna show it on my face. I'm gonna try to be poker face. Yeah, good. There we go. He can take it with the king. He could take it with the queen. He couldn't take it with the knight because of the pin, but luckily with this mover there, he is winning yet another piece. He's 2 pieces up and he still has 4 minutes because this was a 10-minute game in which Jacob has taken a bathroom break. He has had an apple. So we are taking our time. We are relaxing because finally this is a longer game than Bullet or Blitz. Excellent. 2 pieces up for Yamato, and he's ready to bring this unemployed piece, the one in the corner, into the game too. You need to activate your pieces, develop them, and then maximize their potential step by step. So you want to make sure that your pieces are more and more active, and you try to restrict your opponent's pieces. If you can achieve that, you win the game. Even with equal material, if your pieces are more powerful.
I need to make sure if he pushes his pawn that I don't trap my bishop.
Yeah, good thinking. Good thinking.
Even though the rook looks juicy to do it with tempo, I think I trap my bishop if I do so because of my own pawn.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, if he moves the bishop in here
I just want
after
to,
a4, he knows it.
even
if
though
he moves it
I will
here,
miss
it's
this
gonna
diagonal,
trap.
this
Get
diagonal
trapped.
was a dear friend.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do. Well, the question is this better? Or this better? I think this is better. I don't want to trap my own rook. And now the next question is, just develop this, and if he wants to capture it, he'll fix my pawn structure. This honestly seems quite decent to me.
Excellent. Bishop here.
I didn't think about this.
Important to see that if he had played that active bishop move, it wouldn't have been as strong as it looked. And now, let's see where we go with the knight.
Well, I'll still defend the pawn, so I guess it wasn't too terrible.
His opponent is very aggressive. That's what he was doing earlier too, but 2 pieces up, so we just need to make sure we keep moving the hanging pieces.
I need to start thinking about my time. I think he. Well, what's this?
Exactly. Now that pawn will fall. Yamato knows that those were not good moves for black, but black is 2 pieces. Then it's very difficult to play in lost positions.
I think this square is so strong, so there is nothing like that he can do to put me in any potential danger. And usually I will feel bad about going to the H file on the same diagonal as the bishop, but the square is too strong.
Aha, he wants to vacate the
And I'm just gonna
G1 square
move,
for the other rook.
Move over here.
I see. And he's threatening checkmate. Look at this big brain action. He moved the king away to free the square for the rook, and now it is checkmate! There we go!
There we go.
Bathroom and apple gambit. Worked out very well.
It was very liberating to have so much time, honestly. But I do feel that your methods have improved me in terms of playing at the 3-minute chess, because this felt so easy.
I'm glad. That's
easy.
The goal. That's the goal, because obviously Blitz is just a tiebreaker. So there will be, if you play PogChamps, there will be matches that are decided without the tiebreaker. But since the match it's so short, it's just 1 game with each color, so 2 games.
Yeah.
If it's a tie after those 2 games, then you do need blitz kills. And until then, as you said, now it feels like you have lots of time. So it's good for rapid too. It's good for the rapid games.
Lovely.
Let's take a look at those critical moments. Take us through the start of the game and any thoughts.
Here I was taking a little bit extra time because I didn't know if I wanted to do have the 4-knight opening or if I wanted to push the pawn, but I know that from experience that I've been in these positions very often, so I didn't mind too much. And then I've always been unhappy when I can't develop the bishop all the way over to this square, but after that game where I knew that the potential bishop could move into here and there could be some poison, that I was completely satisfied with putting my bishop behind the e-pawn. So I just went for this as my decision. Then I'm trying to remember what
so
was.
So you developed the bishop and then you put the pawn, exactly?
So this I felt okay with. I didn't really feel threatened, and my hope was exactly as we had in the previous lesson, the point in time where he captures my bishop with the knight, because it looks so interesting to just take it. But I was very happy to just open the file for the rook and just point at that little pawn in the back. The imposter again. Yes.
Again, the imposter. True. Well done. He played knight g4 and you castled. You didn't mind that he wants to take your bishop. I really was happy about this decision that you didn't mind.
Cool. This was I heard your voice, you know. It was from the game.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not actually hearing that, but
No, like in my mind, I had the memory of the previous lesson. Yes.
I was so happy about it because I think people can get scared that it's gonna double your pawns. You're losing your bishop in a way that you do like to play with a pair of bishops. So I know that the bishops are important to you, to me. Having a pair of bishops is cool, but Black is losing a lot of time doing it, right? He had to play already. It will take 3 knight moves to trade your bishop. So it's time, and that time you used for castling. So your king is safer, and now you're ready to attack. I knew that you will be looking at that pawn on F7.
For sure.
Nice. What happened later? Show us those moves when he started attacking your pawn and then he jumped in with the knight.
So I was very happy to move my queen to this square because I wanted to move the knight to over here to participate in the attack that's coming. And I thought I just have very winning chances here because everything is already pointing at the king. And I was trying to find ways to make the attack quicker and not give him a chance to castle. But I realized that there is no rush. I can just take it easy and I will pin that pawn for the remainder of the game. And the only thing I kept in mind was if he is going to continue to push those pawns, if there's going to be a position where I need to put my bishop on a more awkward square, because what I was worried about the entire game was if at any point if I trap my own bishop.
Oh, have I lost Jacob?
Oh, hello.
Jacob, are you with us? He froze. Oh no.
Oh no. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear him anymore. Jacob, are you with us?
I am with you.
Oh.
I'm with you. Let me leave and rejoin. Maybe that works. Oh no. Oh no. Well. Okay. Anna?
I'm so sorry. I think my internet just kicked me out of everywhere.
That's all right. Yeah, I saw that you went offline over there, and everything.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. And then I started panicking and I wanted to message you from my phone. And then I realized I also didn't have internet on my phone. It just went off everywhere. I don't know if Kevin was trying to do something with the router. Because sometimes he fixes home stuff, but then the whole electricity would have gone off. So I don't know.
I
I
see, I
hope it's
see.
back now. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It seems to be working. It seems to be working.
Just in the moment when you were explaining this crucial game of how you won after the pawn was hanging, bishop c5. This is the last moment I heard, I think, before the internet kicked me out.
Oh, yes. I just planned to defend the pawn. I just thought that this would be annoying, the potential check, but maybe I should have just ignored it. Maybe I should have just not gave a damn.
You defended it, but I thought it's not a bad decision because if it was solely a passive defensive move, I think you're right that you may not have to worry about the pawn. But I thought that you already had in mind that this queen can end up on the king's side. You already
Yes,
were
yes.
looking in that direction. So it's a multi-purpose move. For now, you prevent the pawn being captured, and in the future, you can use the queen for the attack.
Yes, yes. I felt a bit uncomfortable though when the knight started creeping in.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had to do another move with the queen, and I was unhappy about that, but maybe I exaggerated.
He played this move, and I think you were like, "Oh, what is he doing? All these are guarded. So what's his idea? Nothing is hanging."
I was partially, I guess. I just wanted to get it out of the way. That's why I just played the pawn move.
Yeah.
And then my idea was, if it comes down to it, that it prepares d4 as well. So I was extra happy about it. Because if I prepared
Yeah.
d4, the pieces he's been moving so much with are just completely done, and I'll be able to pick up the pawn quite freely. So my idea was to push this knight back, and then just to... but then I realized that this pawn is hanging, but not really. I realized that the knight was trapped afterwards.
Exactly. I was curious because I think from what you said also during the game, I was like, "Oh, so you didn't see this move," but it actually is another big brain idea that you can allow your opponent to take the pawn, because after queen d2, the knight has almost nowhere to go. The one square is on f4 because of this pin, but even that doesn't save the game, because you realize now you take the pawn on e5. The knight finally is hanging on f4 due to the rook. f7 is hanging. The whole position of black is collapsing.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
But as I did the move, I missed it, and I was unhappy about it. So it was very random that it worked out. I have to admit that.
I think you deserve that it works out, but even if you cannot trap the knight, I feel like a move like queen g3, for instance, to keep attacking on the king's side to target the pawn, the king is still bound to castle. Like it's not the same, especially if black gets to castle. Like if he castles, then the pawn down is not the same as with the king in the middle.
Yeah.
But usually when you're ahead in development, even giving up a pawn or two will be fine, especially if you can continue with attacking moves. So here what's important, even if let's say he had c5 square or somewhere else to go where he doesn't lose the knight, at least this is a tempo and it prevents him from castling. So as long as you keep making forcing moves, something is hanging, something he has to worry about, and as long as you manage to keep the king in the middle of the board, you always have a chance to launch an attack, because that king is very vulnerable.
All right. I was even considering if I should sacrifice the bishop.
I knew you would consider it.
I was like, should I just sacrifice the bishop and then open a discovery with the knight? But I realized that a bit too late, I think.
I think it was good like this. It's simple. You probably had the chance to sacrifice the bishop, that it was a good move, but this is even simpler, that you just take the pawn and now you threaten to take on f7 either with the knight or with the bishop, and the knight on f4 is hanging. Your opponent went for the desperado, but I think this position is very difficult to deal with all these threats. I'm pretty sure this is a decisive advantage at this stage already for you.
All right.
He gave up the knight to then give this check, and I'm happy you decided to come back here, because even if you realize that maybe the knight will be lost because it's a pin over the g5, right? So black could try to move h5, but let's
Oh wait,
say
I'm not watching the same board. I
Oh,
think.
oh wait, shoot, it's my bad because of the internet. I'm sorry. Here I am just drawing arrows and making moves. Apologies.
So I was like, whoa, where are we going?
Oops. So yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that because of my internet, everything went back to 0. So we have the board now. He played knight h3, and after this check, I was just saying that I'm really happy that you went knight g4, because I think sometimes on intermediate level or advanced level, it still is like, oh, but yeah, why, like this knight is hanging on e5 that you see after the check. But there would be occasions when people think, yeah, but if I play knight g4, I will also lose the knight, so it feels like it doesn't make sense to try to save it when you will end up losing it regardless.
Yes, yes.
But time is so important at chess, so even if black would win the knight back later, it's not even sure that he wins back the knight, but even if he does, it still is worth to try to keep it on the board as long as you can, because you are winning time in the meantime. So that time factor is so crucial that now you can use this tempo to take on f7 with a check, to bring the rook to f5. Just use that time for whatever you want, but you need to keep the knight alive in order to make your opponent have to play moves like h5. So keep it alive as long as you can.
Yes, yes.
And bishop takes e3. I was just hoping that he doesn't scare you with this, because it looks like a scary move because of the knight being pinned.
This looks like a blunder I would make. This is a YamatoCannon blunder, copyright. This is yes, yes. It's like a piece is pinned and then it's pinned for the rest of the game. That's the mindset.
Yeah. But luckily you notice that if you take with the queen first, after the queen trade, knight takes, you are 2 pieces up, and you converted very nicely. I love the end of the game. All of these moves were great to bring the rook. This detail that you realize before he even pushed the pawn, that if you end up making this move, which looks so nice,
It
you're
was very
attacking the
juicy.
rook. Yeah, exactly. But it's not a good move because your bishop has nowhere to go. You trap your own bishop. Nicely done that you spotted this before he even attacked your bishop.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Very good job. And then you went for just these ideas, rook to g3 to take the pawn. And this, I'm so proud of this, because there are different ways of converting it. You are 2 pieces up, so there should be many ways to do it. But this was such an efficient way. You said you normally don't like to place the king in the same diagonal as your opponent's bishop. You said it during the game, but you wanted this square for your rook.
Yes, yes.
And that won the game, because once you had the rook there, you have this checkmate. Your opponent can try to prevent it with moves like king h5, but on the long run, it's impossible that he will survive. For instance, if he does play it, how can you insist on this checkmate idea of yours?
I guess I just move the rook down, and then the next square is gonna be defended by the knight. Yes.
You can move the rook down, and it doesn't matter that the king follows you. Nicely done.
Cool.
Very good job.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
I was happy about this game.
10-minute game. You had time for a bathroom break. You had an apple.
Yes, yes.
And you won the game with 2 pieces up and checkmate.
This felt very peaceful. This time format.
I'm glad.
But peaceful is not always the best. For
but
sure.
It's good that you felt like you have tons of time to even be away from the computer if you have to.
It's just it was a lot easier to use the concepts that we've talked about, or that you've taught me.
Yeah.
And so I could like take a step back and just view it and have the conversation that we have in the analysis board in my own head with myself. So it was very, very cool to put it into action, more so than in 3-minute chess.
Excellent. Yes, I know that blitz is really difficult. We're just gonna keep practicing for the fact that it's a tiebreaker and that it speeds you up for the other time controls too. So we're gonna use that as our coaching method and keep that time management as a goal. But I'm very happy that for other time controls, which are more important, I think it's more important to play well a 10-minute game than a 3-minute game. Because
Yes,
the
yes.
end of 3-minute games is just a time scramble where one will flag most likely. So
Yes, yes.
I think it's a lot more important that you play at your very best the 10-minute games, but the 3-minute games are helping you to speed up for the rapid games too.
Well, even more so, I didn't play a 10-minute game in a long time, but I felt the skill transfers so well. So I was partially worried about it, but at the same time not, because I just trust you, obviously, because you know a million times more about chess than me, so I just trust you. But it was really nice to see it in action, in the sense that I felt stronger in a 10-minute game than I ever had. So that felt nice.
I'm glad. And you can play 10-minute games. From now on, I allow you to play 10-minute games, but I still want you to play 3-minute games too.
All right.
And if you play both time controls on the same day, I want you to start with the Blitz games and then do 10-minute games, and not the other way around, because the other way around, it's going to be more difficult to
Yes,
switch
yes.
from a 10-minute games to 3 minutes.
I understand. And then when it comes to puzzles, should I do puzzle rush? Is it better than doing the puzzle thing?
If you're solving puzzles just to train your tactical vision, I think the survival mode is better because you actually have some time to invest
Okay.
to see the patterns. But if you want to train speed and pattern recognition, then puzzle rush, the 3-minute or 5-minute one.
Okay. All right.
So for overall tactical vision, the survival one is better. But if you also at the same time, if you want to do a quick puzzle rush before you start playing Blitz or Rapid games, then definitely the timed one, because you need to also use time management in that case.
All right. Lovely. Thank you very much, Anna.
You're very welcome.
Always
You're
a pleasure.
Great student. You're a great student. I'm always
Thank
happy
you.
to have these coaching sessions. And as you know, whenever you have time, we set up a next lesson. As long as you feel like it's helping you, because I don't want to force these.
No.
lessons on you.
I'm getting better for sure. I'm getting much better. Super
glad.
much, and it's also super fun. Like this is super fun. So I'm enjoying
I'm
it
glad to hear that.
super
And thanks
much.
again for joining the birthday Among Us too, because that was really a nice detail, and I felt so special that all my friends and all the people I like on Twitch just came to celebrate my birthday, and Kevin's birthday was that week too. So I was like, I said to Kevin, this is our birthday party. We cannot go anywhere, so we're gonna have our birthday party in Among Us, and it felt like that. So thank you so much for showing up.
No, of course, it was my pleasure. It was such a stacked lobby. It's like, oh, this is a NFL pro, this is a poker pro, this is a inventor of the penicillin. I was like, okay, this is Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah, it was my dream team and some of my closest friends at the same time. So I'm very happy to know so many of these celebrities. You're a celebrity.
Nah.
Yes,
I was way out of my depth in that lobby.
No.
And then there was like I believe Jen and was it the NFL player?
John had never played.
They never played before, and they were masterminds. It was it was crazy. It was really crazy.
I don't know how they did it. I still don't know how Jen got away with that first kill. She killed me in front of Kevin, and no one believed Kevin, because Kevin can make up stories usually, but he wouldn't say that he saw me getting killed. But because Jen was so convincing about how the task was, that she was not supposed to know the task. It's the first time she's playing. How does she know? How does she know? It was crazy.
She was using an engine for sure. This was an engine move.
Yeah.
Top move in the position.
Like
for sure.
It felt like that. And Max is in the chat. Max played us in our birthday Among Us. I still have the command exclamation mark squad. He's saying John had the biggest play. Yeah, John also tricked many of us later.
It was even the master. Like I got to be imposter with him, and I didn't understand what he was doing. But then when he explained, he's like, I was reporting the body so I could back you up in case something went wrong. And I was like, okay. He was like 5 layers ahead of me. I was like, why are you reporting all the people I'm killing? And then he was just waiting for me to bust out an excuse. And then he'd be like, yeah, he was there.
Wow.
It's next level. Like all of the tactics that takes years to develop, years of Among Us. And he just, boom, natural. Scary.
I know. They play better than me for sure. And I really like the game. I'm sure there will be more Among Us sessions. You're always welcome to play if you would like.
That was such a nice lobby. It's like I played Among Us with like some of the LAC people, so like the casters, and just because of the line of work as casters, they are very loud. So whenever there's a meeting, everyone's like and it's just you just come out of the meetings dumber than than before. So it's a bit of a mess, and I know that my little community also enjoyed it a bit more because of the overall wholesomeness vibe that the game had. That was super nice.
I'm glad. I'm glad. You're always welcome to join. And Tifa can join too if she would like to. I'd love to meet her one day. We have met Cookie, but Tifa can also play with us, not just Cookie.
I will make sure to tell her. I think she would love that lobby because she's not a loud person like the LEC people.
Yeah.
And everyone was like super kind. Everyone got to speak, and it was a fair game, not a game of who can scream the loudest, which I think is important when it comes to Among Us.
That's the way I like it too. So for the next Among Us, so that you have 2 spots reserved in case you're joining.
Cool. I'll bring her along. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us for today. Those of you who haven't used the exclamation mark Yamato command, please do so. Go over to Jacob's channel because he's going to be streaming quite some chess, I feel like.
Possibly, yes.
Especially if you can't stream League. Well, hopefully you can do both. Today, unboxing, which is important. Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards. That is.
Pokemon cards.
This year has been about rediscovering my childhood. So as I mentioned, losing the keys, the soap, and the Pokemon cards as the final piece. That's the plan.
I like the plan. I'll definitely tune in later. I'm gonna be playing some Risk with my community now because we always combine chess and variety games.
There's
Risk
a game.
Some of my favorite. Yeah. Do
Wow.
you play Risk, the board game, or online?
I've never I love board games, but finding people to play board games is so tricky.
Yeah.
But the Risk has been on the list.
Nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because board games nowadays, there's some fancy board games with stories and continuations with so much depth. Like there's some crazy board games out there. It's crazy, for sure.
Yeah, I'm huge on board games, and Risk was one of my favorites as a child. So now I brought it back to the streams because there are a couple of online versions.
Okay.
I do recommend them. It's fun, and it's a pretty short game. Well, depending on if you play against bots or not, but it's fun to play different strategy games.
All right, and I will leave you to your Risk gameplay.
And I'll lead you to the unboxing. I'll definitely check the bot to see those shiny Pokemon cards.
I hope so.
Everyone at Yamato's community. We'll be back with more coaching sessions and maybe Among Us.
Yes. Thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure. This is increasing my enthusiasm for chess every time. And,
I'm happy to hear that. Keep up the great work. Just puzzles, the 3-minute games, 10-minute games too are now allowed.
Will do. No worries at all. I'm gonna find the time to play some today. Maybe I'll look for my keys a little bit, and then when I eventually give up on the keys, there will be more chess, for sure.
Sure. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
All the best. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. If you want to play board games, hit me up. Holy. What exclamation of OnlyFans? What the fuck? Guys, I need to go right back and then we continue. Let me just put the video capture back in. There I am, guys. Put the video capture back in. Let me go right back.